yo. Created movie to safely control unwanted odor below the belt. Clinical testing proved it blocks odor all day, every. What's up? We is back.
How does that need your help building a shelter? Can you give me a hand? Sure, what do you need me to do? Let's start by generating foot planks. We'll need a solid frame. Good cover. After that,
So look, right?
I need wood. Wood. How many did he say he needed? I don't remember.
Everybody's trying to sell people on this idea that Diddy is the new Epstein, is the new Weinstein. I ain't gonna lie, yo. It makes for a good book, you know. Makes for a good book, makes for a good story. But is he really? Makes for a good headline. Diddy, the new Jeffrey Epstein. Diddy, just like Harvey Weinstein. That shit sounds very good, y'all. But is that really the case? Or is that just being said? Or is that being said and used to make Diddy out as a fucking monster? Hold on, I'm trying to wipe this daggone screen off, man. All that time. My bad, y'all. What's really going on, man? Is P.Diddy really Jeffrey Epstein? Like, seriously. Is he really Jeffrey Epstein? Is he really Harvey Weinstein? You know, sometimes I notice, like, with certain cases, you know, no matter how public they are, over time, you know, people forget, you know, certain details. People forget certain similarities, certain differences. So I've been saying, a lot of people say that. No, yo, he just like Weinstein. Did he just like Weinstein? And I'm even saying people. And I'm even saying people feed into these narratives. Because, you know, it sounds good, you know. You get a lot of views off of it. Diddy going down. A-list celebrities tied to Diddy. Tapes on the way. Like, yo, we don't do that on Keep It G News. We ain't, because, yo, that's not what's ready to happen. Even when it came down to Jeffrey Epstein and his flight logs, it's like, what did we really get from that? Who else got in trouble other than Jeffrey Epstein? Ghislaine Maxwell? I'm talking about A-listers. You know, Epstein was tied to the Clintons. He was tied to Prince Andrews. He was tied to so many high-profile individuals. But who else got in trouble? Man, shout out to Belgium, man. Straight up. Who else got in trouble? Who else even got indicted? Who else even got sued? Like, yo, I don't know. I think Prince Andrews faced the lawsuit. But I don't even know if he even had to pay anything. So now you take this back to Diddy. And Weinstein, you know, Weinstein got caught up in the Me Too movement. You know, a lot of people feel a certain way about the Me Too movement. You know, I tend not to trust anything that Gloria Allred is involved in. You know, I don't think she's legitimate. But with Weinstein, I don't think he had a whole lot of causes. You know, Weinstein, it was just him and being a pervert, being a freak, and him using his status in the music industry over actresses. And you understand? But Epstein was different, yo. Epstein was dealing with underage children. But how many people know the details of this, man? Like the real details. Or remember. Cause I know everybody was turned in. Well, most people was turned in. How many people actually remember Epstein case? Cause like I say, countless people was talking about, yo, I'm telling you, it's just like Diddy, Epstein, Weinstein. Like, yo, these people ain't got nothing in common. Especially Diddy and Epstein. Epstein is probably one of the worst predators we ever heard of. But they trying to put Diddy on the same level. And I don't think Diddy belongs there. Nowhere close to that. So in this video, we gonna check out some of them. We're gonna go back to them cases. Because I think people is being misled. And you know, I ain't really with the misleading the people. Alright, so let's start off with this. When they announced the charges on Epstein. Here we go. Go back when they announced these charges on Epstein. Now, this is a major thing. Epstein was a financier. A lot of people think he got his money, you know, from stealing. He lied. You know, his whole career was built up off lies, for real. Let's check him out.
We're going to start in 5 minutes. We'll turn around the visuals.
Oh, so we might as well skip 5 minutes. Yeah, I know, but since this the narrative,
the United States Attorney's Office.
Since this the narrative, these people want to push, we're gonna push back against it. You know, because yo, what you gotta do first, people gotta understand, yo, you gotta first kill a person's image. Now, my little cousin say you don't got to, but this is what they do in most instances. They kill you. They kill your image first. They kill you in public opinion first. And y'all know why that's so important? It's so important that they kill you in public opinion first because this is where the jury pool will come from. So if we can already convict you in public opinion, which more than likely, a lot of these jurors are gonna see this. It makes the job of the court that much easier. God damn it. I fucked it up. Hold on, y'all. It makes the job of the court that much easier. So right now, what we witnessing is a public shaming of Diddy. And this is the question I posed to everybody yesterday. You got all these lawsuits that haven't been filed, right? Dude did a press conference, announced 125 lawsuits. Yo, how is people going to feel, right? If he only filed 2. After he announced 125 lawsuits, if this man only filed 2 of those lawsuits, how are people going? Yo, what's all these fake numbers keep calling me, man? How's people going to look at that? If people think like, damn, what the fuck? Are they playing games? Are they lying? Like, I really want to understand. Yeah, but it's not about freakiness. We talking about life in prison. We talking about I don't think Diddy being the freak deserves life in prison. You know, I don't think Diddy is Harvey Weinstein or Jeffery Epstien. But we're gonna find out. You know, because that's the narrative they want to run with. So we're gonna go to the facts. Check out a few videos on both of them. Yo. Hold on, y'all. This shit's out of control. All these fucking spam numbers keep calling my fucking phone. Fuck type games they playing. All right, y'all. So let's get business. That like button, subscribe to the channel. Ain't nobody else gonna do this. Everybody else is gonna let the media run with it. So this is Epstein press conference when they announced formal charges.
I'm Jeff Berman, United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Today, we announce the unsealing of sex trafficking charges against Jeffrey Epstein. The charges allege that Epstein sexually abused young girls by enticing them to engage in sex for money. Epstein was arrested this past Saturday evening at Teterboro Airport aboard his private jet that had just landed from Paris, France.
So that is already a key difference. Epstein enticed young girls to have sex for money. I don't think that's what they're alleging with Diddy. You know. Yep. I know what it's about. Y'all don't know what it's about. It's about victims. I know it ain't about victims. It ain't about victims. Just watch. If you're confused, stick around.
Epstein was taken to the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan, and later today, he will be presented before Magistrate Judge Pittman, and later a conference before District Court Judge Berman. The United States Attorney's Office will take the position at that presentment and that conference that Epstein should be detained pending trial. Epstein is charged in a two-count indictment. First, conspiracy to commit sex trafficking, and second, the substantive crime of sex trafficking of underage girls. Beginning in at least 2002 and continuing until 2005, Epstein is alleged to have abused dozens of victims by causing them to engage in sex acts with him at his mansion in New York and at his estate in Palm Beach, Florida. The victims, all underage girls at the time of the alleged conduct, were given hundreds of dollars in cash after each encounter, either by Epstein or by one of Epstein's employees. The underage girls were initially recruited to provide Epstein with massages, and often did so nude or partially nude. These massages became increasingly sexual in nature and would typically include one or more sex acts as specified in the indictment.
This don't sound nothing like Diddy.
Epstein also paid certain victims to recruit additional girls to be similarly abused. This allowed Epstein to create an ever-expanding web of new victims. This conduct, as alleged, went on for years, and it involved dozens of young girls, some as young as 14 years old at the time that they were allegedly abused. As alleged, Epstein was well aware that many of his victims were minors, and not surprisingly, many of the underage girls that Epstein allegedly victimized were particularly vulnerable to exploitation. The alleged behavior shocks the conscience, and while the charged conduct is from a number of years ago, it is still profoundly important to the many alleged victims, now young women. They deserve their day in court, and we are proud to be standing up for them by bringing this indictment. Combating sex trafficking and exploitation of children is a priority for this office and for the Department of Justice, as the sexual abuse of a minor can have devastating effects on
these are disgusting charges,
often
man.
lasting for years. That is why my office will not rest until perpetrators of these types of crimes are brought to justice. Victims' voices, including the many voices of Epstein's alleged victims, must be heard. To that end, I want to say to anyone who is watching this or hearing about our prosecution, if you believe you are a victim of this man, Jeffrey Epstein, or you have evidence or information relating to the conduct alleged in the indictment unsealed today, we want to hear from you. Please call 1-800.
That's one key difference already, right? Remember on people on that was on the live that I did yesterday. Right now, You see what the federal government is doing? In Diddy case, they got lawyers doing this. Lawyers, we ain't saying the federal government, they ain't, I mean, they did it kind of, sort of, but not to this capacity. But let's continue.
Call FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI.
Let's go to Weinstein press conference. Is he done?
The charges unsealed today
No, he ain't done.
reflect the hard work not only of this office, but by our law enforcement partners at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Left is Bill Sweeney, the Assistant Director in charge of the New York Field Office of the FBI. And I wish to thank him and his team for their
Why don't tell me to get back to building the White House?
in seeing this
Why I gotta go to the
investigation
field?
through. I also want to thank the New York City Police Department,
Or
represented here today
landscaping
by
DC.
Jason Wilcox, and Customs and Border Patrol for their assistance in this investigation. And I want to thank and acknowledge the career prosecutors of my office handling the investigation and prosecution of this case. To my right, Alex Rossmiller, Allison Moe, Maureen Comey, and their supervisors in the Public Corruption Unit, Russell Capone and Edward Discant. It is a privilege for me every day to work with these bright, talented, and dedicated public servants.
Is one of those people. At approximately 5:30 p.m. on Saturday evening, we arrested him at Teterboro Airport without incident. Epstien has been charged with 1 count each of sex trafficking and sex trafficking conspiracy. For at least a 4-year period covering the entirety of 2002 through 2005, he is alleged to have sexually exploited and abused dozens of minor girls at his homes in New York City and in Palm Beach, Florida. The girls were recruited in a variety of ways, usually by employees of Epstien and sometimes by fellow victims. The victims typically received hundreds of dollars in cash. The estimated dozens of victims were as young as 14 years old at time of recruitment. Children who provided Epstien massages while they were nude or partially nude. Children who were asked to engage in direct and indirect sex acts for money. Children who were enticed to do all these things at the hands of a man more than or nearly 3 times their age. Those who have been victimized by child sexual predators are frequently haunted by memories of these crimes well into their adulthood, often for the rest of their lives. They bear the burden of someone else's criminal behavior. Too often, adults in our society have turned a blind eye to this type of criminal behavior alleged here. We have seen the excuses. The ignorance.
All right, let's go to Harvey Weinstein press conference. You know, we just comparing and contrast. You know, it's a compare and contrast. This is lawyers. No, we want to see. No, we don't want to see that. We want to see when they announce formal charges. Oh yeah, outright. I don't really want to watch her. I don't fuck with her. Let's accuse this whole press. All right, let's watch this. Just don't let them win what it is. Oh, man, let's go. No, I don't want to see that. I know they held. I don't think they held a press conference for this guy.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Good morning, welcome. Thank you for being here.
What the fuck is that?
Tara Leigh Wolf, Lauren Young, Megan Hast, Joan Iluzzi Orbon. 8 women who have changed the course of history in the fight against sexual violence. These are 8 women
Epstien
who
did, not Harvey
our
Weinstein.
justice system into the 21st century by declaring 8 women who have changed the course of history in the fight against sexual violence.
So right now,
these are 8 women.
It's 8 women involved in this case. Diddy case only has 1. In Epstein case, it was dozens.
Who pulled our justice system into the 21st century by declaring that rape is rape and sexual assault is sexual assault no matter what. Rape is rape, whether it's committed by a stranger in a dark alley or by an intimate partner in a working relationship. It's rape, whether it's committed by an indigent person or a man of immense power, prestige, and privilege. Rape is rape, whether the survivor reports within an hour, within a year, or perhaps never. It's rape despite the complicated dynamics of power and consent after an assault. It's rape even if there is no physical evidence, and even if it happened a long time ago. This is the new landscape for survivors of sexual assault in America, I believe, and this is a new day. It's a new day because Harvey Weinstein has finally been held accountable for crimes he committed. The women who came forward courageously and at great risk made that happen. Weinstein is a vicious serial sexual predator who used his power to threaten, rape, assault, trick, humiliate, and silence his victims. He has been found guilty of criminal sexual act in the first degree and will face on that count a state prison sentence of no less than 5 years and up to 25 years. To the jurors.
Now he gave, let me tell y'all something about this case.
Service.
The guilty, the 30 years that Weinstein caught in New York, he gave it back. So Weinstein currently only has 18 years in California, which is a lot of time, you know, because he probably don't need to live another 18 years. But I just want to make sure I let y'all know that.
And careful attention. Their verdict turned the page in our justice system on men like Harvey Weinstein. I want to say thank you to the assistant district attorneys, paralegals, and analysts who worked on this case, including Maxine Rosenthal, Kevin Wilson, Shannon Goldberg, Harry Dunn, John Irwin, Alyssa Marino, Andy Clark, Danny Mejia Cruz, Stephanie Littell, and Emily Hogan, and especially to Harriet Galvin, Megan Haas,
Who else went to jail?
and Lucy Orban, who conducted a terribly difficult and meticulous investigation and performed masterly a trial under the brightest of spotlights. And finally, to the survivors of Harvey Weinstein, I owe, and we all owe, an immense debt to you.
I wanna hear what he did. Harvey Weinstein. Hold on. Because everybody is trying to say Diddy was on the same level as these guys, and I don't think he was. I don't think he is. I think they're using Diddy, the fall of Harvey Weinstein. How Weinstein tried to silence PBS Frontline. The women who brought down Weinstein. God damn. All right, let's check this out right here. We ready to find out if Diddy was worse. Diddy only got 1 victim, y'all. As it currently stands,
Harvey Weinstein convicted on 2 counts of sexual assault.
as it currently stands, y'all, Diddy has 1 victim.
In prison.
Cassie,
the verdict of
allegedly.
For the Me Too movement and accusers. We're going to speak to one of them in a moment. First, let's go back to Amy at Bellevue Hospital, where Weinstein was taken overnight. Good morning,
Oh
Amy.
man, come on now. Why they playing crazy with the coverage? I want in-depth coverage. In-depth. Look, see, his conviction got overturned Okay. What was the scope of Weinstein? All right, let's check this out.
The future of Hollywood powerhouse, the Weinstein Company, is uncertain this morning. The board fired co-founder Harvey Weinstein last night following the revelation of sexual harassment allegations that stretch back decades. New York Times correspondent and CBS News contributor Jodi Kantor spent 4 months investigating the story with her colleague Megan Twohey. Jodi joins us once again at the table. Jodi, been a very busy weekend for those of us following the Harvey Weinstein story, and for Harvey Weinstein himself.
Probably more busy for Judy.
Yes, yeah, exactly right.
All right,
Was there a
man.
final straw that finally led to the firing yesterday? It was announced last.
Why are they playing crazy with the coverage, y'all? Oh, here we go. Investigating alleged abuse. Here we go. This should give us what we're looking for. Now, Epstein was on an island. Weinstein had like trap doors in his office.
Harvey Weinstein's been a shock, a scandal over there. But tonight, he's a police matter over here. Merseyside police say they received a report yesterday of an alleged sexual assault in the London area in the 1980s and have passed a file to the Metropolitan Police.
And no foul. No foul. I'm being good.
Harvey Weinstein outside his daughter's house in LA yesterday afternoon. Earlier, she'd called the police after an altercation, saying she thought her father was mentally unstable, possibly suicidal. As Mr. Weinstein left the area, it was the now familiar mantra, I need help. I need a second chance.
We're glad to see you doing okay.
Thank you. Guys, I'm not doing okay.
You're not.
Trying. I gotta get help, guys. You know what? We all make mistakes. Second chance, I hope. Okay?
No problem.
Thanks, guys. You know what? I've always been loyal to you guys. Not like those treat you like. I've been a good guy. Sure, man. Have a good one.
Showbiz sites in LA report he's flown by private jet to an Arizona clinic seeking treatment for sex addiction. Around 30 women in the film business now say Harvey Weinstein verbally or physically pressured them for sex or sexually assaulted them, up to and including rape in 3 cases. Mr. Weinstein strongly denies this. Overnight, the model Cara Delevingne, actors Heather Graham and Lisa Seydoux accused him of sexual assault. The French actor Florence Darel accused him of sexual harassment. And Kate Beckinsale claims she was just 17 and at school when Mr. Weinstein summoned her to the Savoy Hotel in London.
I said no to him professionally many times over the years, some of which ended up with him screaming at me, calling me a and making threats. Harvey is an emblem of a system that is sick and that we have work to do.
On Saturday, the American Film Academy, the Oscars people, meets in special session, and it may, like BAFTA in the UK, suspend Mr. Weinstein.
Now you sit there and have a drink.
Across America and New York, and the district attorney is now having to explain why they never prosecuted Harvey Weinstein over this covert police recording in 2015.
No, yesterday was a kind of aggressive for me. I need to know a person to be touched.
It's allegedly of Harvey Weinstein pressuring Amber Gutierrez to go to his bedroom and apparently apologizing for fondling her breast.
Please, 1 minute.
No, I can't.
Go to the bathroom.
Obviously, he has some serious issues, and the tape is terrible. I, as DA, have to be guided by the evidence and the elements of the crime and my experts in the office.
However, tonight, New York police say they are now reviewing all complaints made against Harvey Weinstein. But it now emerges that shortly after Cyrus Vance, a Democrat, dropped the case against Harvey Weinstein, also a Democrat, one of Mr. Weinstein's legal team sent Mr. Vance a campaign contribution of $10,000. Both sides say that was unconnected with the dropped case.
I was shocked. I
$10,000 for a case to be dropped? Damn.
But Democrats who year after year took Mr. Weinstein's money now stand accused for responding slowly and evasively to this crisis. Hillary Clinton again asked whether or not she'll give Mr. Weinstein's money back.
He donated money to you directly and indirectly. Would you give the money back?
Well, there's no one to give it back to. What other people are saying, what my former colleagues are saying, is they're going to donate it to charity. And of course I will do that. I give 10% of my income to charity every year. this will be part of that. There's no doubt about it.
Until today, Harvey Weinstein, the destruction of his marriage, his business, and his reputation. As of tonight, he now faces the police on both sides of the Atlantic as well.
I had first heard about something happening in the early 90s with an executive who was working for what was then Miramax. And Miramax had rented a house in Chelsea in London, ostensibly to keep the overheads down, because when they had people traveling from New York, it means they wouldn't have to stay in hotels. And this particular executive came to me and my business partner and said that he had appeared naked in her bedroom.
That's 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Can you remember what was going through your mind at the time as to why you didn't think, I've got to do something about this?
Well, I think, there were so many stories around at that time, and I think you'd be hard-pressed to find any woman of my generation who hadn't encountered some moment of abuse or sexual harassment. And I think one of the questions that all of us are asking now is, why weren't people able to speak out in the way that they felt they wanted to? Why didn't they speak out? And I think that what's not that helpful is to point fingers or to blame, but to ask, just as we did about Jimmy Savile, why? Why didn't people who knew do something?
And why do you think that was?
Harvey really showed all the signs of a sociopath, and you can hear on that tape recording, is that he threatened, he bullied, so there was verbal abuse. I know there was physical abuse. There was praise, so someone would be screamed at, shouted at, and I know this happened with his employees as well, and then they would be praised the next moment, and it's a kind of mental breaking down. And I think that it was a really dysfunctional culture.
All right, let's go to Diddy press conference.
And the fact he was allowed to behave.
So we got a good overview of what these guys did. Let's go to Diddy's real quick. Diddy. Here we go, right here. What's up, Nay?
Rod Mercury will champion policies that unleash Keystone Energy.
No, we just exploring the idea of, Diddy, Harvey Weinstein, Epstein. They all one and the same. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Epstein especially was fucking disgusting, chasing underage children. And I'm gonna go to one of these videos when they explain exactly the type of stuff that he was doing. He got kids to recruit other kids, but by putting Diddy on the same level as him, it creates the same amount of outrage without really knowing the details of any of these situations. So I'm just making sure that, we just fact checking the media, making sure they doing their job and not pushing agendas.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Damian Williams, and I'm the U.S. Attorney here in the Southern District of New York. Today, I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires.
I don't know, but we don't have no details on that. That's just speculation.
Conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways.
I'll listen to his music.
As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs.
I don't know.
And he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time.
Yo, there's no minor charge. See, that's why I'm doing this. See, the reason why I'm doing this is because people got the information wrong. See, and I know how I was getting confused because they throwing all these allegations out there. You got lawsuits on this and you got lawsuits on that, then you got an indictment here. And what people are doing is they bunching it all together and they creating a narrative, but that's not what's really going on. Diddy has one indictment against Cassie. That was a lawsuit at one point. I don't know how it turned federal. He got an indictment against Cassie. Then you got all these outside lawsuits that haven't been filed. And what I said earlier in the video, what if y'all find out that out of the 120 lawsuits that they did a press conference on, what if y'all find out that only 2 get filed or 1 get filed? Will people feel like they was misled? Will people feel like they was lied to? And is that irresponsible? And if that's the case, why would you do that? Why would you put this out there like that, slander this man's name, image, but then only file 2 lawsuits? Why would you do that? Because the perception is already there. So it wouldn't matter if out of 120, only 1 get filed. The perception of 120 lawsuits against Diddy is already out there. It's already out there for public opinion. So what would you call that? What would you call it? The lawsuit that Gloria Allred just filed the other day, we went live, we showed it, and she had a whole press conference for it. Last night, we just showed the guy that said this woman reached out to me in November trying to get me to participate in her money grab. It was verified by the news. So we already know this. We already know this woman is full of nonsense. How many more is like that? Suit to Jeremy. How many more is like that? And this perception of Diddy is Weinstein, yo, that is not, we ready to find out. Is Diddy really Weinstein level? Is he Epstein level? Because that's how the media is presenting it. So I think it's only fair that we find out. He already did it, but he didn't file none of them. To my knowledge, he still haven't filed none of them. But he just did a press conference in front of the world and even mentioned minors. But that lawsuit has nothing to do with the indictment of Diddy and his relationship with Cassie. It has nothing to do with it. But people are bunching it all together, so it looks disgusting. Damn, what the fuck did he doing? He's sex trafficking this woman. And most people don't even know that the indictment is only talking about one person. But you just hear he's sex trafficking. Then he's doing all this other stuff on the back end. But that's not really what's going on, y'all. Check it out, TV, what it is. What's up, Randy? That's not what's going on. And I'm ready to show y'all.
Variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
Now,
as alleged, when Combs,
you're gonna hear him keep talking about victims, like it's numerous and multiple. But in the indictment, it only lists 1.
Combs didn't get his way. He was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by
that guy do anything.
On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media.
What's up, Dan?
Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs.
Now remember, y'all, keep in mind, when he's announcing these charges, he's only talking about Cassie. Not saying that is right, but Cassie wanted money. She got what she wanted out the ordeal. Keep that in mind. That's who he's talking about. Exactly, Danny.
Recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims.
Yeah, I did a video on that yesterday.
Including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe.
I know, Danny, and that's the point I'm trying to make, Danny. When have we ever seen somebody pay a lawsuit? When have we seen somebody pay a lawsuit and then turn to a criminal indictment? In that case, why did he pay the lawsuit? I'm just trying to show y'all, it's some bullshit going on, and don't fall victim to the nonsense. It's a lot of wordplay is being thrown around, and I think a lot of people. Hold on. People was falling victim to the wordplay without actually knowing the details of the investigation. We'll never see any of those tapes. And then you got YouTubers and bloggers. They plan on y'all for views, likes, and comments. We don't do that over here. It's either real or nothing. We're gonna keep it real, or we ain't going.
Or facing more abuse. He also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors
did he go to jail?
in the business.
Maybe, but not life in prison. Diddy ain't do nothing to constitute life in prison. Diddy is facing life in prison on RICO charges. I don't even think Epstien got hit with RICO charges. Facing life in prison. Diddy didn't do nothing to get life in prison over. I'm gonna show y'all. We're gonna go to Epstien next. Maybe 5 years, 7 years,
and household staff.
No, I ain't trolling. I ain't never trolled a day in my life.
Alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up.
Because, Maria, I know it's some bullshit.
Sex workers to travel for the freak-offs.
I know it's some bullshit, y'all. What y'all gotta understand is justice delayed is justice denied, yo. I told you that's what I'm running with this. Justice delayed is justice denied. What did he? Why all of this stuff came out has nothing to do with the system protecting victims. It has nothing to do with the system coming down or trying to lock Diddy up for crimes that he committed. This ain't got nothing to do with that. This got something to do with Diddy and a situation that he had in business. And now they exposing things that he did in his private life. That, in my opinion, when it come down to the trafficking and the freak-offs, I don't even think Diddy realized that was a crime. I don't. I think Diddy just a fucking freak. And he got freaky, you know. Baby oil got brought out, you know. Was the IVs was used. It was drug induced, and I think that's the way he liked to party. You know, a lot of people party that way. Now, what people are doing is they're using their personal experiences and using that to look at Diddy's situation. But that's not how you're wrong. You're wrong. Don't nobody like a sexual abuser. You feel me? But when you talk about Diddy and Cassie, you talking about a relationship, y'all, that went on for almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. You know, and I think it might have been a time, and that's within that 10 years when Cassie was completely fine with the freak offs. I think she might have been fine with him. I think Diddy just got excessive with it, and then that's when, you know, that's when it was like, I don't really want to do this no more. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he was right in that sense, you know, because you don't force anybody to do anything. But at the same time, we got to acknowledge that Cassie wanted money. Cassie didn't file criminal charges. Cassie wanted money. And he paid her. And then y'all got to understand this too, y'all. There's a segment of society, y'all, that's willing to do anything for stardom. They're willing to do anything for money. So whose fault is that? Whose fault is that, yo? That some people got so much greed in them that they will sacrifice their morals, principles, integrity for money, for a chance at stardom. Is that Diddy's fault or that their fault? Now, Diddy is wrong for using that against them. Yeah, he is. But it happens all the time. It happens in business. It happens on a lower level. It happens in general. But to be facing life in prison for it is insane to me. Insane to me.
Of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced.
Yeah, nobody important. Nobody else is getting in trouble.
Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving.
I don't think. See, that's what I'm saying, y'all. I don't think Diddy thought what he was doing was illegal. I think what he did, he knew he was doing some things that was immoral, but I don't think that Diddy was moving around knowing that these freak-offs was RICO level worth of crimes. You understand what I'm saying? Yo, you can live, how can I explain it to y'all, yo? Like, I explained it a million times, yo. I explained the reason why it's a RICO. The way they was able to fit these freak-offs under the RICO statutes because the organization of it. I don't think Diddy realized that. You know, I think Diddy just liked his freak-offs organized. You know, he liked his freak-offs to run smooth. But in the criminal aspect of things, you know, the federal government, and it's loosely tied. The federal government can look at that and be like, man, we can fit him under the RICO because of how organized it was. You know, everybody had a job to do. And I don't think Diddy ever factored that in. I think if Diddy would have known that, maybe he would have still did it because he thought it was above the law. But it's a chance that he wouldn't have, you know. Because if Diddy had these freak-offs, right, with Cassie, and he wasn't flying in sex workers, would it have been illegal? Like I told y'all in a video I did yesterday, there's a such thing as cuckolds. Should cuckolds be charged with a RICO charges? Should men or women that like to see their partner engage with other people while they watch, should they be charged with RICOs? Now, this ain't nothing I'm into. Man, fuck no. But there is a segment of society that moves that way. It's a segment of society that moves that way. That's what Diddy was doing. He just was doing it on a larger scale because he had the money to do it on a larger scale. If them same people that do it on a smaller scale had the money like Diddy, they probably be doing it the exact same way. So we just going to go around and charge all of them with the RICO. So every single person that like moving that way be charged with a RICO charge. Hell no, I ain't in no shit like that. I don't do no shit like that. That shit freaky as a motherfucker. That shit wow. Oh yeah. Wise life. Like it's people that do that, man. It's cuckolds out here. Yeah, but nobody else is getting trouble, y'all. Like everybody, see, that's what I'm saying. Everybody is talking about what they. It's other people just because it's a belief that it's other people. Just because these lawsuits is leading y'all to believe that it's other people. But when they talked about them lawsuits and them other people, did y'all know what he said? He talking about parties, not freak offs, but regular parties. He talking about studio sessions where some people might have wanted to be a part of fame. They wanted to start them. It's other people that witnessed it. Like they're not the same. People are confusing the indictment with the lawsuits. It's not the same. These indictments are centered around this. The indictment is centered around Cassie and the freak offs. The lawsuit is stemming around, if there is a lawsuit, because they haven't even been filed. But the lawsuit that was discussed is centered around Diddy and his parties that everybody come to. So of course there's going to be guys that witnessed it. You understand? There's going to be people that witnessed Diddy say, "Look, you're going to drink this cup. If you don't drink this cup, you gotta leave." But once you choose to drink the cup, how is that his fault? And then when the guy explained the lawsuit, he said people woke up injured, confused, shaken. What the fuck does that even mean? What does injured, confused, and shaken mean? Does that constitute assault? People can be injured. Yo, I didn't got drunk and woke up injured a hell of times. Arm hurting. God damn, the fuck. Fucking leg. I'm limping and shit. Like I tripped and fell. Like, yo, what? That doesn't mean nothing, y'all. It don't mean nothing. I'm just going by what he said. What you mean? That's what he said. What you mean? There's no way I think that. That's what he said. Let me play back. I think, and then we're gonna go to Epstien. Let me play back what the lawyer said. Let me go back to what that lawyer said, because I think people didn't I think people took that. See, one thing you gotta realize about wordplay is you'll hear a word, and then in your mind you'll start thinking of all these scenarios, and none of them probably is the truth. Neither one of them scenarios is probably the truth. I think that's it. All right, look.
In one
down.
Oh, my bad.
Was pretty much.
I'm not saying Diddy not Epstein or Weinstein, y'all. I mean, I'm not saying Diddy is a saint. No, he ain't no saint. But life in prison?
It was a secret that everyone knew about what was going on with regard to these parties and some of the things that happened in these so-called after parties. There was a pattern in practice, custom behavior that
will be included, the ones that you are willing to include.
All right, I'm gonna start it from right here.
Why will they surprise us so much? Is it because they're beloved people in the Hollywood universe?
Those are all speculations, y'all.
I know, and you're doing your job. Obviously, you want to know who they are, some kind of facts, so we can kind of figure out who they are. I think I'll just leave it at this. I mean, it was a secret that everyone knew about what was going on with regard to these parties and some of the things that happened, these so-called after parties. There was a pattern in practice, custom of behavior that went on for many, many years.
Nate, we don't know nothing else that he did, Nate.
Was pretty much
what else did he do, Nate?
For many, many years.
We don't know anything else he did.
People identified and specifically invited to certain venues and parties. When they showed up, they were given a specific drink. They were made to drink it. They didn't drink it. They would many times be kicked out of the party. And a lot of these folks would drink this drink that was provided to them and literally could not remember hardly anything that happened thereafter. And the next morning woke up disheveled, injured, confused, scared, ashamed, full of guilt.
Listen to that, y'all. What is that? What did he just say, y'all? Listen, let me run it back again for y'all. I stopped it right on the exact spot. Listen to what he said. Woke up disheveled after they drank the drink. They woke up disheveled, ashamed, injured, guilt. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean, y'all? That means absolutely nothing. But this is the 120 lawsuits that everybody is talking about. Yo, that means absolutely nothing. Nate, because we don't know, Nate. We don't know. That's all speculation. We don't know anything. We just speculating from the rumors that we heard on the outside looking in. We don't know. Know is a strong word, man. Speculate, yeah, it's been a lot of speculation. But no means you have some type of inside knowledge. Like we was there. I don't think we know anything.
And specifically invited to certain venues and parties. When they showed up, they were given a specific drink. They were made to drink it. They didn't drink it. They would many times be kicked out of the party.
Listen to him, y'all.
A lot of these folks would drink this drink that was provided to them and literally could not remember hardly anything that happened thereafter. And the next morning woke up disheveled, injured, confused, scared, ashamed, full of guilt, and wondering what the heck happened to them.
What the fuck does that mean, y'all? What does that mean, y'all? Should he get life in prison for that? Should he get life in prison for offering people a drink and they woke up disheveled, scared, ashamed, injured? What does that mean? But what does that mean? Did that mean Diddy did anything to him? That means nothing. In the grand scheme of things, that means nothing. He didn't say nothing about no blood. He didn't say anything about blood. No, you can assume drugged, but that means nothing. He didn't say that, Infinite Man. He didn't say that. He said woke up confused, ashamed, scared, injured, and didn't know what happened. But this is the guy that said you can even drink the drink and you can leave. They drunk the drink. Rondo, what it is? Oh, Shambo, what it do? They drunk the drink. They chose to drink the drink. Come on, Nate. No, that's not what it sounds like, Nate. That's what you're envisioning, but that's not what it sounds like. That sounds like nothing. Exactly, Infinite Man. Exactly. Now you see that's how the media is making it seem. But in the grand scheme of things, it means nothing. But it means that's what they're implying, but it means nothing. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? That's not no fact, it's no factual basis. There's no factual basis. Like what did he actually do? Did you go to the hospital? Was you saw in a private region? Like he didn't say any of that. He just said they was injured. Let me play it again for people that need to hear one more time. Like this is the lawsuit everybody keep talking about, but listen to the guy talk.
People identified and specifically invited to certain venues and parties. When they showed up, they were given a specific drink. They were made to drink it. They didn't drink it. They would many times be kicked out of the party. And a lot of these folks would drink this drink that was provided to them and literally could not remember.
They didn't have to drink the drink. Let me go back a little further.
With regard to these parties.
They didn't have to drink the drink, y'all. This is the choice. This is a choice that he gave them, and they decided to drink it.
Parties and some of the things that happened in these so-called after parties. There was a pattern in practice, custom of behavior that went on for many, many years.
If my child was to say,
it went down, was pretty much the same for many, many years.
It was confused.
People identified.
Hold on, Nay.
Specifically invited.
Nay, he didn't make them drink anything, Nay. He didn't make them drink anything. He gave them an option. Listen.
To certain venues and parties. When they showed up, they were given a specific drink. They were made to drink it. They didn't drink it. They would many times be kicked out of the party. And a lot of these folks
intimidation.
Drink this drink that was
kicked out of the party is not intimidating.
Literally could not remember hardly anything that happened thereafter. And the next morning woke up disheveled, injured, confused, scared, ashamed, full of guilt, and wondering what the heck happened to them.
Yo, but we talking about sexual assault. Now, if he was drugging people at his parties, that's a crime to drug people at your parties. But if people at the party was well aware that it was something in the drink and still drunk it, they don't hold no accountability. Is that what we doing in this world? If a person tell you, look, it's ecstasy in that drink, you can even drink some or you can leave, and you choose to drink it. How the fuck is that his fault? I don't know. He never explained it. That's what I'm saying. It means nothing. Like we can insinuate anything, but people is taking this lawsuit and making it like, yo, Diddy, what the fuck? 120 people, but he didn't say nothing. He didn't say anything. Right, being at a Diddy party, probably. I mean, I don't know. The whole industry done been to Diddy. They say Diddy throw the best parties. But what I'm saying is, y'all, people that was at these parties was well aware of what was going on. Did I show y'all the girl that was at the party and that they went to several Diddy parties? Show y'all what she said. And then we're gonna go to Epstien because we're getting carried away. We gotta get back to Epstien. Let me take y'all to a girl. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all 2 videos of 2 women. Man, hit that like button, y'all. Now listen to this. Listen to this woman.
Nigga, you can't be a grown ass motherfucking bitch and say to me that Diddy forced you to do a motherfucking thing. Nah, I'm not gonna take that shit. Nah, you played a part. Because see, Diddy can't become a monster by himself. There's people that have to constantly keep feeding that motherfucking beast. And the reality is that there are people
I know,
out
Nay,
here
see, but
that
that's
will do any
but exactly, and that's what most people are doing. Mostly, look, when you this the thing y'all gotta understand about the brain. The brain fills in the blanks, right? Your brain fills in the blanks. So if you get certain information, it's only natural for your brain to process it by filling in the blanks. So this is what I mean by the word play. So when they throw certain words out there, the human brain straight to go into what the fuck could it possibly be? Injured, confused. He drugged them. He awed them. He assaulted them. But he didn't say any of that. He just threw certain words out there to lead you to believe that. But this is what I'm explaining. This is what they've been doing in the media for decades. And for decades, people have been falling victim to wordplay. It's wordplay. Now listen to this one. Then I'm gonna take you to a girl that been to a Diddy party.
Thing for success. That's it. That's all. They'll do anything for wealth. That's it. That's all. If it means sacrificing every ounce of their integrity, every ounce of their morale and their beliefs, they'll do it. But here's the thing about it. You can't circle back and tell us that you was a motherfucking victim. You was not being groomed. It was your greed. And until you address your greed, then you can address the situation. Otherwise, miss me with that motherfucking bullshit. I don't give a fuck how much money a nigga got. You're gonna be out here prostituting me and shit, nigga. You know, it's like, hey, come on now. At some point in time, I think what it is that a lot of you females is mad because he disrespected the fuck out you and didn't give you what the fuck you came for. Let's just really talk about it. I'm being honest with you. Because that was disrespectful ass shit that you participated in. And it had nothing to do with motherfucker Diddy. All Diddy was doing was taking advantage of motherfuckers who was willing and able to be taken advantage of. Let's have a real motherfucking conversation now. I don't think y'all ready for 2024 and all its truth because I'm going to give you the motherfucking facts. Some of you niggas was hanging around Diddy and you knew how the fuck Diddy got down. You was okay with it, nigga. You trying to play, y'all. A lot of you niggas trying to play like you don't know what the fuck Diddy be doing, but Diddy be definitely Diddying. Diddy be definitely Diddying, okay? And some of you niggas knew that shit, but you didn't care because you was looking for career advancement, nigga. Come on now. Diddy didn't slide his dick in between. You can't be a grown-ass motherfucking nigga.
All right, now look. I'm going to tell you this. This is a girl that was at the Diddy parties. Took y'all to her. She said she been at several Diddy parties.
Y'all, and there was something that I forgot to mention the other day when I was talking about the Diddy situation. Y'all already know how I feel. I feel like you bitches
Might lie crazy.
y'all was getting y'all selves into. Y'all had a ball, y'all took pictures, y'all posted, y'all told your friends, y'all felt like y'all was on top of the world, y'all was going on vacations, and then for whatever reason now you bitches want some money anyway. Whether it be because he cut you off, whether it be because he's not hitting you up no more, whether it be because you feel like a goofy because you didn't get nothing out of it, whatever it be, it's lame as fuck what y'all are doing. But outside of that, you niggas, this is what I gotta say to you niggas. You niggas that are sitting around laughing, making jokes. Number one, Diddy is such a just kind person in general that he would have probably opened his home to you. Some of y'all have probably been at them freak offs, which really are parties, if we're really... They're rich people parties, okay? Stop calling them freak off.
Y'all, and there was something that I forgot to mention the other day when I was talking about the Diddy situation. Y'all already know how I feel. I feel like you bitches knew what the fuck y'all was getting yourselves into. Y'all had a ball, y'all took pictures, y'all... They're rich people parties. If the feds and whatever else want to call them freak offs, that's on them. But at the end of the day, they're rich nigga parties. Rich white men do this shit all the time.
Hey, dang, and that's where I'm at with it.
Real estate moguls, finance guys, brokers, all type of rich white men do this shit all the time. But because Diddy is black and of high status, of course, he's not allowed to do the same thing that rich white men do. He's not allowed to indulge in the same behavior, parties, lifestyle, etc. that rich white men do. It's fucking twisted. It's really fucking twisted, and it's sad. It's sad to watch someone who's a mogul for the black community, in the black community, who speaks very highly of the black community and tries to instill growth and excellence and black excellence and preaches it and preaches love. And he's getting shitted on. They're rich people parties shitted on by not only the feds and the people filing lawsuits,
shit, chillin',
but his people. his community. And it's like, y'all are making a mockery of it. And I see it. I see y'all's posts. And some of y'all are black men of high status or in the same, not maybe in the same financial position.
Diddy's biggest mistake was allowing that lawsuit to go public. But they was coming down on him anyway, y'all, because it wasn't really about the lawsuit. It was about his lawsuit, not Cassie's lawsuit.
A high economic
she been to the parties
advantage or high financial status. It could be y'all tomorrow. And y'all are laughing and making a mockery as if he doesn't need our support. As if it doesn't matter. This matters because the jury that's going to see this type of shit is looking at the shit, whether they say they are or not. They are. So it's like, y'all are literally making a mockery of him as if it can't be you tomorrow. And it should be some of you niggas, because some of you ball ass niggas are really sexually harassing, really shitting on by not only really sexually assaulting girls and really having to spike women's drinks and force them and make them do drugs to fuck with you. Some of y'all are really having to do that shit.
They coming down on Diddy.
Like, he's fucked with the baddest bitches. Why do you think that he needs to spike your drink to fuck him? Or make you do drugs to fuck him? Bitch, you willingly took them drugs. You wanted to vibe and be a part. You wanted to be a vibe and get invited to the next rendezvous and party out. But I've already spoken that piece. I'm not going to speak on it again. But you niggas are lame as fuck. The ones that are laughing at him, making jokes about him, this is his livelihood.
Now that's a crime.
And y'all are
I ain't
acting
talking
as
to
if
you.
this is a joke. I don't give a fuck if he had 10,000 bottles of baby oil. Niggas is ashy. He has guests. Y'all not gonna talk about any other things that he may have kept in his home, dental kits, toothbrushes. Like, I'm over it. Really sexually, but you niggas are lame. Losers. Lame as fuck. Just want you to know, you're lame. If you're on the internet making fun of a black man's demise,
they always willing participants.
You're trash. You're a loser. You really are fucking, especially being another black man.
They always willing participants. They was willing participants. And he facing life in prison for that shit. He facing life in prison. Like I said, he done some horrible things, but life in prison is excessive. Life in prison is excessive. The only thing Diddy did, he did some fucked up things to Cassie. Now all these lawsuits and trying to kill him in public opinion, that's just so they can run over him in court. And I'm not participating in that. I'm not participating because at this point he's not gonna get a fair trial. You know, I'm not gonna participate in a running over a Diddy in court by killing him in public opinion. Because like she said, and which is a good point, the people that's watching all this shit is also gonna be in that motherfucking jury pool. So if you kill him in public opinion, they going into the courtroom already with a preconceived notion of guilty without hearing any of the evidence. Is that a fair trial? Is that a fair trial at that point? Everybody, supposed to be in the United States, deserves a fair trial. No, he ain't gonna get no fair trial as long as they killing him in the media, making up stories. I just showed y'all yesterday about a girl that was lying. Let me show that again, because it's new people. And this is the last thing, yo. Then we gonna get to Epstein. Y'all always get so carried away on Diddy. I'll show y'all this one more time, and then we're going to move to Epstein. This is a lawsuit that just got filed. We got one woman dropping her lawsuit because they say Diddy trafficked a sex worker. Like, I don't even understand, how do you traffic a sex worker? She's already in the business of being fucking trafficked. Like, how do you traffic a sex worker?
It's a lie on me.
How do I defend an
That's all I'm saying.
Big Joe Sherman wants you to look at his face and listen.
I don't know this lady from anywhere.
You've never met her.
Never in my life.
He's talking about this woman, Thalia Graves, who appeared at a highly voted news conference last week with attorney Gloria Allred.
The trauma, the soul, has taken a toll.
And what the sex worker mean? Sex worker means she travels for sex, right? Don't sex workers travel for sex? How do you traffic a woman that's already traveling for sex?
announcing a federal lawsuit claiming that in 2001, the then 25-year-old
and what's the
was
sex worker then,
drugged
Courtney?
and bound and viciously raped in the Manhattan headquarters of Bad Boy Entertainment by music mogul Sean Diddy Combs with his bodyguard and head of security Joe Sherman.
I'm not questioning her integrity. I'm questioning her claims against me. I wasn't head of the security. You got the wrong man. I've never seen you. I've never did anything negative with you. I've never been in the same room with you. Not only wasn't I there, I wasn't even in New York.
Sherman says he did security for Bad Boy Records in the 90s, but wasn't working for the company in 2001.
There's no kids, y'all. There's no kids.
Sherman provided
There's no
us with his
kids.
personal album of photos.
Where y'all
with
getting this
celebrity
from?
clients he says he's protected over the years.
Me and Beyonce.
He says he did see Diddy at industry parties after Sherman left the company, but there was no relationship. Big Joe maintains he is being set up by false
Yeah, like where y'all getting this shit from?
And whoever that she's in cahoots.
But why would you have to force a woman that's a sex worker? It don't make sense, Courtney.
Part of that money grab. It says it right in her Texas. She wanted
Look,
to get Diddy.
Sherman showed us.
This is a woman that just got proved that she was lying. She just did a press conference, Gloria Allred, the other day. This guy was in her lawsuit. He proven to the world that this woman reached out to me in November trying to get me to lie for her to come after Diddy. And y'all still believe in the bullshit.
From an Instagram account starting last November, he says his team has linked to Graves. We confirmed the connection. The first text asked if Sherman was a security guard for Puffy.
She confused me because she kept saying, "Are you Big Joe?" I said, "You're on my Instagram."
When she asked, "Are you Big Joe?" what did that mean to you?
That means that she don't know who I am.
The text asked him to call the number and goes on to say, "If you will be my witness against Diddy, then my attorneys will leave you out of any proceedings because we have statements that you physically showed over 8 people, videos of me and you to people in the studio." Sherman responded, "I don't know what the
I think I'm
expletive
more about this
you're
case than
talking
everybody
about.
in the chat.
Know who the expletive you are."
I got the whole
He
indictment.
is still named in the lawsuit. Was there any video?
Not only was there never a video, I never saw the woman. I'm nothing but a scapegoat for this BS. Because I wouldn't get Puffy and lie on Sean Combs.
Electric Soul. We just talked about that damn lawyer. That damn lawyer is vague as I don't know what. Vague. He said he woke up confused. And when he talked about the 9-year-old, he talked about a parents took their child to Diddy. And the parents was told, they say that Diddy told the parents, "Let me walk off with your child alone." Like you can't hear this part of the conversation. Yo, but y'all gotta understand, y'all. It's some people that will sacrifice their children out here, y'all. It's some people that will sacrifice their children. They should be in jail. If you're willing to sacrifice your child for a fucking chance at fucking stardom, you are a sick individual. And if Diddy did that, he's a sick individual too. But for a parent to sacrifice their child is even worse, in my opinion. Even worse. That's the same thing that women did to R. Kelly. The same thing. I showed y'all in one of my other videos where you had the parent telling the girl that was 17, who lied and told R. Kelly she was 18, to seduce him. Seduce him. Grind up on him. This is what the mother was telling her child. R. Kelly in prison. This woman not. How is that possible? How is that possible? How is R. Kelly in prison and the woman who told her child to get close to R. Kelly, seduce him, look young, how is she not in prison? It's in text messages. What you mean evidence? It's in text messages. It's proven. It's proven. I showed y'all in one of my other lives. Like, come on, yo. See, people got to take their personal feelings out of this. In reality, I don't give a fuck about Diddy. But the situation that's being placed on Diddy because he made some bad decisions and because these people was coming after him business-wise, in my opinion, I can't stand behind that. Fuck no, I ain't ready to defend Epstein. So the reason for this video is because people are saying, well, the news is comparing Epstein to Diddy, saying that they're one and the same. I'm showing y'all that they ain't nowhere near the same. They ain't nowhere near the same. And when I talked about them lawsuits, what I said to y'all is, what if y'all find out of them 120 lawsuits, nobody never answered this. Out of them 120 lawsuits that haven't been filed, y'all, what if y'all find out they only filed 2? Because everybody's referenced them lawsuits. What if y'all find out that they only filed 2? What's gonna be your response? What's gonna be your response? Everybody that's commenting, why the comments stop? Out of the 120 lawsuits, no, Kim, you won't feel like you was lied to. You don't feel like the media lied to you. I ain't talking about in reference to Diddy. I'm talking about in reference to the information. I'm talking about in reference to the information. In reference to the information y'all receiving with this 120 lawsuits, if they only filed 2, how are y'all going to feel about that? Not Diddy, the information. Why the chat keeps slowing up? Exactly. Nobody got nothing to say because y'all know that's a bunch of BS. Y'all know that's a bunch of BS. Why would you announce lawsuits that you haven't filed? Why would you announce lawsuits that you haven't filed? No, they already got the lawsuits. I'm talking about the lawyer. Now, I ain't talking about you in particular. I'm talking about everybody. You're not the only one. Everybody comment. No, but these lawsuits is the ones. The lawsuits is saying that there's children involved. The indictment is just talking about Cassie. This lawsuit is talking about there's 25 kids involved. That's what this lawsuit is alleging that haven't been filed. What is y'all going to say if 2 only get filed? And none of the 25 is children. But they already tainted the jury pool. They already tainted y'all minds into believing something that was never true. It's media mind games. I just want y'all to be aware of the media mind games that's being played on y'all right now. The RICO is an indictment on Cassie. It's an indictment on Cassie. They basically saying Diddy sex trafficked Cassie. That's what the RICO is saying. Yeah, but Nate, how would you feel about that, Nate? Because you keep referencing it. You wouldn't be like, damn, what the fuck? That was irresponsible. Y'all wouldn't think that was irresponsible of your media to show y'all to put that out there like that? Exactly, Courtney. Exactly. Because that's what they doing. They killing them so they can make it easier for them in court. But if y'all know what this whole court thing is about, this court thing ain't even about Cassie. Cassie just being used. It's people that knew that Diddy did Cassie wrong. This Cassie lawsuit was was coming up the pipe, and they used that because Diddy made some, in their opinion, made some bad moves business wise. So we're gonna use Cassie to send you to prison. That's what this is, man. That's what this is. All right, so let's get to Epstein. Because everybody keeps saying Diddy is the new Epstein. Let's find that out. All right.
I'm not rich as hell. I'm the one
Oh, okay.
that really needs to break. Not the people that are already rich and have the money. Kamala Harris is going to make billionaires pay their fair share, and she's going to cut taxes for working people. We need
I got a
Kamala
good
Harris.
relationship with God. I don't know what you're talking
Welcome
about.
to Book Club in the Neighborhood.
What did I mean in the chapter? The right
God
area
loves me
for every budget.
The section on Washington
and my family.
to study. Tonight, you'll hear shocking stories from very brave women demanding justice that knew no limits. Damn the consequences, he acted as if he could have anything he craved. But what he desired most was sex with young women and girls. For years, he abused them at will. And such were the numbers of victims Epstein exploited, he started trading them around the world. He masterminded
He wasn't doing
a
this,
sex
y'all.
trafficking ring, which enabled his rich and influential friends and associates to share in his perversion.
So was Diddy doing this? Already. Major difference. Major difference. Epstein was getting young children and selling them to other rich people around the world. That is nothing like Diddy. Nothing like that. There's not one even fake lawsuit that even mentions anything that Diddy did of the sort. But the media is telling y'all Diddy is the new Epstein. Diddy is the new Weinstein. Meanwhile, they're only telling y'all that because it creates a perception of these guys that Diddy ain't moving nowhere near like them. It's mental mind games. It's trickery. It's propaganda. They playing mental mind games with y'all, man.
Remarkably, those accused of complicity in this scandal include His Royal Highness, Prince Andrew. Tonight, you'll hear shocking stories from very brave women demanding justice. Among them, Virginia Roberts Jeffrey, who stumbled into a dark and insidious world she had no power to escape until she found sanctuary in Australia. Today, this opulent Manhattan mansion sits empty, abandoned by its owner, the disgraced and now dead Jeffery.
It's hard. It's really hard being back here.
But Virginia Roberts Jeffrey is determined that Epstein's terrible secrets will not be buried with him.
Being a kid, I didn't even really realize what world I was being brought into.
The world within these walls was inconceivable. A horror house of sexual abuse and international sex trafficking.
I was abused by people that I can't even mention here. There's a lot of scars hidden behind those walls. It should be ripped down. It should be burned to the ground. Some of my worst memories are from this place.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Jeffrey Epstein led a privileged life. His extraordinary wealth on show around the world. He had his own fleet of planes, a private island, ranches and mansions in New Mexico, New York, and Paris. But in private, Epstein had a dark and insatiable sexual appetite for young girls, an obsession he shared with like-minded wealthy and powerful friends.
The people that were involved with Jeffrey Epstein included some of the richest and most politically powerful people in the world.
Including a member of the British royal family. Standing accused is the Queen's second son, Prince Andrew. Virginia, who now lives in Australia, says she was trafficked to the Duke of York when she was just 17. Prince Andrew denies any wrongdoing, any knowledge of the Epstein sex ring, but Virginia believes he should be punished. Do you think Prince Andrew should go to jail?
yes, I think Prince Andrew should go to jail. I mean, is he ever going to? Probably not.
Tonight, inside the Epstein scandal, how the powerful protected Jeffrey Epstein.
They had enough evidence to lock him up for decades, and yet they essentially let him go.
And betrayed our most vulnerable. Do you have any idea of how many victims are out there?
I would say it's in the thousands. I mean, he was literally doing this for over 20 years.
As a young child, Virginia's life was all about horses and climbing trees. More a tomboy than a princess. But then at 7, she was repeatedly sexually abused by a family friend. By 13, she had fallen victim to 2 other pedophiles.
My life just changed and it diminished that light that was in me.
Does it sound like Diddy to y'all?
Virginia was emerging from the darkness, landing a job as a locker room attendant at an exclusive resort in Florida. But what Virginia couldn't know was that in 1999, her past would make her
reading.
prey
Reading.
for Jeffrey Epstein.
What it sound like to me reading is whoever got them tapes is leaking them. What type of shit is that? Is that how they supposed to be operating? Is that how the justice system is supposed to operate? Motherfucker, they getting these tapes and they fucking leaking them. What is that, y'all? This is supposed to be our government. This is supposed to be our government. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand, yo. It's something else going on. It's not about justice for nobody. It's not about justice for nobody. It's about coming down on this person because this black man got out of line. He got out of line. Now it's time to teach him. That's what this, and that's all I'm trying to get y'all to understand, yo. That's how I'm able to speak. How I'm able to speak because I know it's not about what people think it's about. Like these people, same thing with Weinstein and all the rest of the guys. They cared about victims. They'd have got them when they had the chance to. It is leakage. Where are they coming from? The people, it's been rumored right now that tapes are being shopped around. Where the fuck did they come from? Because from what we know, there's only one particular group of people that got the tapes. So if they being shopped around, it's only the fuck 1 + 1 = 2. If they being shopped around, y'all, 1 + 1 = 2. Diddy don't got the tapes. Diddy in jail. Who got the tapes? We seen what's up, Scott? We seen people coming in and out of his houses with video cameras and all type of equipment. Now tapes being leaked. And people can't use common sense to determine where these tapes coming from. People can't use common knowledge. They be like, damn, that's wild. They really leaking tapes. Right, Courtney, it's obvious what's going on, y'all. Like, this is not how our system told us this is how they run. This is dirty practices. What they doing to Diddy in the media is similar to what they did to Martin Luther King, what they did to Malcolm X. Do y'all remember the Martin Luther King files where they was writing letters to to Coretta? That Mark sending her pictures that he was cheating and shit like that. And this is dirty practices. These are dirty practices, y'all. It's not how the system supposed to run. Yeah, and we not gonna see nearly none of those tapes that came out. Because they don't want nobody else in trouble. So anybody that's selling that to y'all is selling y'all nonsense. Anybody selling to y'all that, yo, we ready to see, it's so many people, yeah, J. Edgar Hoover. It's so many people going to jail and Jay-Z next. And, yo, they is selling y'all a dream. They're selling y'all a dream for views and comments. You know, it look good in the title. Jay-Z is next. That's not what's ready to happen, y'all. They coming after Diddy and Diddy alone. Diddy alone. Nobody else. And the reason they coming after Diddy don't have nothing to do with no victims.
And Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's partner and procurer of young girls.
She just seemed very nice, and she said, I've got a person that I know who's actually looking for a traveling masseuse. And if you want, I can do an interview with him. If he likes you, we can get you educated. You'll be a real masseuse. And you'll get to travel and see the world. And you know, like, she made it sound like it was a dream come true.
I'm not crazy, I'm being honest.
And it wasn't.
All you gotta do is pay attention.
Instead, it was a trap. But trustingly, Virginia told the couple of her past abuse. This was as Ghislaine was teaching her how to massage Epstein here at his Palm Beach Island home.
That was for
This don't sound nothing like Diddy to me, y'all.
Unlocked the door to knowing how broken I really was.
This is sick.
How quickly did they act?
Disgusting.
Well,
Diddy just was a freak.
We did the back of him. We did the back of Epstein, and then when he turned over,
and abused his power as well.
I was instructed to that's what I was instructed to get undressed and have sex.
Well, thanks for coming back, Rob.
While Ghislaine Maxwell was participating as well.
I say he was disgusting and abused his power.
You want to take a moment? Okay. So you were abused by both of them in your very first encounter?
Yeah, both of them. I was abused by Ghislaine and Epstein.
At 14, I was still in middle school. I was straight A student, never even got a B. I played the first chair trumpet. I was the captain of the cheerleading squad. And then after I met Jeffery, I just completely quit.
At 14 years old.
This is where you were living.
I'm just showing y'all.
Yes,
This is who they compared Diddy's situation to. Diddy got a situation with Cassie that was wild, you know. Now I think she might have been complicit. You know, it's hard for me to believe, yo, that for 10 years you'd never liked this treatment. But I think it also was a situation where Cassie wanted her advancement in her career. She wanted advancement, you know. Now Diddy did some wild shit, and I told y'all I don't really respect people that use their job or their power over to exert force on women. I think that is lame. I think that is extremely lame. But life in prison, lame? I don't think it's life in prison worth it. Nah, I don't think it's worth life in prison. Courtney, I think this is what a lot of guys that chase younger girls is really it's massive manipulation. Especially if you got money. He manipulated her. He showed her a lifestyle. He probably filled her head up with a whole bunch of empty promises, blew her head up to deflate her, you know, and that's fucked up. That's wrong as shit morally. You know, you don't do that to people. And he led her on, and he just made her believe something that wasn't true. He sold her a dream. Now, I think at one point, she enjoyed these freak offs. You know, it probably was new to her. You know, he got a kick out of it. But I just think it got to a point where it just was excessive. It was excessive. And she didn't want to do them no more. And things might have got physical. You know, things did get physical. That video that we seen when she ran out and he did what he did. It was a sex worker in the room when she left out. But life in prison, maybe 7 years, 5. Not life in prison though, man. I don't even think that should be on the table. And then to compare him to this guy, he ain't nowhere near this guy. This guy different.
Courtney Wild was just 14 when
nobody
she
know about
Beaver
Epstein, Leon.
In 2001.
Nobody know anything about Beaver. I think Diddy decision making got
she was living
Biggie
in
killed. I don't think it was
Park,
intentional. Why
one
would he
of
get
West
it?
Palm Beach's poorest communities.
Do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein targeted areas like this?
Yeah, definitely targeted, children like myself that were vulnerable to him and his money, and we felt like we were being helped and saved by him when ultimately he was just preying on us.
So y'all saying Diddy did that shit?
Just 12 kilometers away, another world awaited Courtney, the luxurious Palm Beach Island home of Epstein. She was brought here by another 14-year-old to make much-needed cash.
What were you expecting to happen? Why did you think you were coming here?
Well, I knew that I was coming here to give a guy
This
a
is what
massage
Jeffrey
for
Epstein did to people.
$200. I did know that. It was never told to me that I would be molested by this man or anything like that.
No, Diddy
Inside,
on this.
Courtney very quickly discovered the massage was just a cover.
They saying Diddy's trafficked Cassie. That's what they saying. There's nobody else involved in any trafficking. They saying Diddy trafficked Cassie.
For something
This
far
is Jeffrey
more
Epstein, who they keep saying
When
Diddy
we
is the
were taken
same as.
upstairs, it was like a circular stairwell that led to a hallway that led to his bedroom, which the massage table was in his bedroom, bathroom. This is to get comfortable, to just, take our clothes off, to be in our bra and panties.
Were you abused during that?
That's fair, Courtney.
And so we would massage him for about 30 minutes. And then whenever he was ready, rolled over and asked the person that brought me to go downstairs and wait. And once that happened, then that's when the sexual abuse happened. Yes.
You're 14 in a completely alien situation.
So Epstein was luring.
How did you react?
I just remember.
Epstein was luring children to his residence for massages, but ultimately the massage was just a charade. He was really trying to get them for some sexual shit. But this is what the media is telling y'all when they talk about Diddy. Like, yo, this is nowhere near the same. Ain't nowhere near the same. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But who fault is that? Like, we gotta hold some people accountable, for willing for you want fame and stardom that bad that you willing to sacrifice all your morals. Everybody not with that. No, everybody not, because people still gotta look themselves in the mirror. Like you can't sacrifice all your morals and then turn around and say you was a victim. No, man, not as an adult. Not as a child. Hell yeah, but as an adult. Nah, man. You wasn't no victim. You was a willing participant. But I think what happened a lot of times is Diddy didn't make due on his promises. Cassie's career never really took off. He probably promised Cassie he probably told Cassie she was gonna be Beyonce, and she never reached Beyonce level. Her music isn't selling. He probably owned all the rights. But you can't do that to people, man. I'm talking about in general. In general. That's what a lot of these people was doing. That's what a lot of these people are doing. A lot of these people was meeting up. If you listen to that lawyer, that's what he said. He looking for people that may have been in the studio with Diddy. Maybe he was looking for a record deal. Like, these are people that he is looking for. But it's like, yo, I can't. I don't give a fuck what Diddy was selling or how much money he can pay me. You're not paying me to do anything against my integrity, against my morals, against what I stand on. I will gladly walk out. Gladly. Like, fast. Like, yo, this guy is fucking tripping. What the fuck? I don't know what I do, but I wouldn't do what he's asking. I'm out of here. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't think it was him. I think it was his cameraman.
Or afterwards, how I felt walking down the stairs, and I just felt so dirty.
Right.
And so,
like the dudes in the band. Some of them
like
left.
just,
Perfect.
like a piece of me had been.
Perfect example, Dragon King. Like how Diddy did some of the dudes in the band. Some of those guys left, man. They got out of there. Like, man, I'm not, man, Diddy tripping. You trying to make us walk to get cheesecake? And I'm out of there. But, yo, this is the cost of fame. That's what I'm trying to get people. That's the cost of fame, yo. If you want fame, you got to be willing to do some things, man. And there's people in this world that will do it. They will do it. But then you can't do it and then turn around and say you was victimized. Can't do that, man. Like, so we don't give these people no accountability. Like, they get no blame in this, no accountability. We just going, everything is your fault. You go to prison, and these people don't take no accountability. Exactly. Dragon King. You can get fame. You ain't gotta go that route. It's multiple ways you can go. Y'all don't see people shouting out my channel. I ain't in the establishment. I do my thing on the outside. That's why my takes is always different. They always gonna be different because I'm not into just pushing the narrative because it's popular. Right now, the popular narrative. Right now, y'all. The popular narrative on Diddy is, yo, they ready to shake up the whole music industry. All these people is ready to go to jail. But in reality, that ain't what's ready to happen. So why would I get on my platform and sit here and lie to y'all saying that it's going to happen? And I know it ain't because it ain't never happened. Even with Epstien and these logs, nobody went to jail. I mean, other than Jelaine, but nobody that we know, nobody know, like, you know, it was not the Clintons. You feel me? Not Prince Andrew. None of these people that they was talking about all this time went to fucking jail. And it's going to be the same thing with Diddy. Of course, if Diddy was recording people at these parties and he got all these tapes, I'm sure he had some people on there that we know. But will we see him? Would it ever come up in trial? Man, hell no. Because it's not about them. The beef with Diddy it's not even about Cassie. They just using Cassie. Diddy has a beef with some totally different people. Totally different people. Cassie just been used as a pawn. That's it. That's why I'm like, yo, y'all keep talking about all these victims. And it's like, yo, that's not what this is, man. This ain't about victims. This ain't about assaults. This ain't about none of that. That's just being used to take them down. It's really about something else. You gotta look it up, Alice. I did a video on it. I said that name. I ain't ready to keep saying I said that name a million times. Diddy had a beef with some people, man. And it got ugly. It got ugly. And ever since that beef, it got ugly for Diddy. And that's what we saying. Somebody can let them know in the comments if y'all know. Yeah, exactly.
Taken dirty. I felt it was like my dirty little secret, you know.
Jeffrey Epstein was the master of manipulation, luring poverty-stricken girls in with cash and feeding their dreams of a better life. By the time the sexual abuse began, many were too invested in his promises to get out.
So, you know, I have to ask this. Why did you go back? As an adult, I know it's right to run, but as a kid who had been through what I had been through in my life already, I guess the last thought that I had was, well...
Now we got a person preying on children. And the media is trying to put Diddy on the same level as this guy. Diddy does not belong on the level of these people.
Epstein's desire for sex was insatiable, demanding at least 3 different
y'all, we go live every day at 11 p.m. Eastern time, y'all.
And in return, be molested. In a perverted pyramid scheme, Epstein would pay extra for his victims to find more girls for him, the younger the better.
You could tell his addiction.
This what Diddy was doing, y'all.
Alcohol. It was definitely young girls. And if I couldn't bring him a girl when he didn't get his obsession, he just would get so mad.
How many girls do you think you brought to Jeffrey Epstein?
I would say at the minimum 50.
Jesus Christ.
But
Get the
anywhere
fuck
from
out of
50
here.
to 70 girls.
Wow.
What were their ages?
The same ages of me, 14, 15, 16.
Wow.
You know, I just hold a lot of guilt and shame for doing those things. And just to know that I had any influence on that happening.
Yo, so this not irresponsible. That's not irresponsible of the media to be comparing Diddy to him. Just based off what she said, I'm sure it gets worse. This is not irresponsible of the media to be comparing Diddy to him. Because that's what they're doing. They saying Diddy's the new Weinstein, Epstein. Like, yo, come on now. This one person. I don't think Jaguar Wright lying. I think Jaguar Wright was a part of the system. Jaguar Wright is a disgruntled employee. She was part of the system and she didn't get what she wanted, so now she bringing down the house. I don't respect them people. Like I said in the video I did earlier, that Jaguar Wright is the friend who you fall out with and then tell all your business. I don't respect that. You know, because when we was friends, we was cool. You know, we was friends, we was cool. Now, since we fell out, now you telling all my business. Yo, you didn't hear nothing from none of these people. Jane Dale, not Roger Barnes, not Jaguar Wright. When they was aligned with Diddy, you didn't hear nothing about any of these people. Any of these people. Now they fall out with Diddy for whatever reason. You got Roger Barnes. His case is probably the most. I don't even know what you call that. Roger Barnes' son goes to Africa. Y'all follow me with this. He goes to Africa with a guy he meet in jail. I think the guy bailed him out. So the guy he meet in jail tell Roger Barnes' son that I got a girlfriend that's in Africa. In Africa. She dealing with another guy. Guess what Roger Barnes' son did? He goes to Africa with this guy. He met him in jail. He don't know him. They end up killing the dude. Killed him. Got locked up. So their plan was they was going to kill him in Africa and go back to the States. Well, they go to Africa, and I did a whole video on it. Y'all can check it out. They go to Africa, and they asking around, because they don't know where they at. They don't know where to find these people. They go to Africa asking around, do anybody know this guy? So by then, word got around to the guy that he actually reached out to them. So when the guy went to go leave to go holler at Roger Barnes' son and the friend, everybody knew. So they got locked up before they left Africa. Roger Barnes is upset because Diddy, who gave him $25,000, by the way, he thought Diddy should have done more. Yo, if I was Diddy, I wouldn't have gave his son nothing. Then you mean to tell me you're going to go to Africa to kill somebody with somebody you don't know? You're going to go to Africa to kill somebody with somebody you don't know over a relationship beef that ain't got shit to do with you? If I was Diddy, I wouldn't have gave him a dime. But now he got a beef with Diddy. Now he's telling all. I don't respect them people, man. I don't respect that. Roger Barnes crazy. I wouldn't. Yo, if my son did some shit like that, I probably wouldn't send him a dime. Because you know better. The fuck is wrong with you? You went to Africa to kill somebody that you ain't. You went to Africa to kill somebody with a person that you didn't know? For one, scratch that. You went to Africa to kill somebody. For one. Let's just deal with that. Forget the fact that you didn't know the person. But come on now. Yo, if my son called me like, Dad, what's up, son? Ain't won't believe this. What's up? What's going on? Man, I'm in Africa, man, locked up. You in Africa locked up? What you in Africa locked up for? Man, I went out here with such and such, and man, beep, hung up on his ass. The fuck, man, you done lost your goddamn man. But you better ain't call me with no dumbass shit like that again. I hope not. Did he say he trying to fight? Did he say he ain't taking no plea deals or nothing?
To somebody else, just, you know, it's just devastating and breaks my heart.
Did Jeff know anybody's real true age, or he didn't care?
I don't think he cared. He told me the younger the better.
These are just some of the girls from Palm Beach who were lured into Epstein's evil web.
Asked me to take my shirt off, so I took my shirt off.
Their young voices retelling a police officer of chillingly similar encounters with the businessman.
You start getting a little excited about it, and
I don't know, bro. I don't know, Angel.
Despite these girls' testimony in
Let me a little
2005,
bigger.
Jeffrey Epstein would go on to abuse and scar countless more young girls. That he got away with it is a disgrace. How he did so is even worse.
He said he gonna
Why
fight
did
it.
this man get to continue roam the streets freely and sexually abuse other young girls when you knew what he was doing? This was no secret.
Remy would definitely win. I think so too, boy.
Every place he goes to, he's already got people lined up and makers making that happen.
Epstein's international sex trafficking ring.
This is a real photo.
Why they didn't even hit him with RICO
How many
charges?
times were you trafficked to him?
3 times.
Is implicated in a shameful scandal.
At a minimum, he's a witness. At some point, he's going to have to face the music.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
They didn't even hit him with RICO charges, y'all.
Jeffrey Epstein was a man made of money, worth nearly $1
No,
billion.
not that we know of.
But with friends in high places, he was not only wealthy, but extraordinarily influential. He was a sex trafficker, a sex abuser, and he was virtually untouchable. One of his young victims,
Epstein got racketeering too?
experienced and witnessed the depravity too many times.
This is New York. This is Palm Beach.
I thought they
this
just
is
said it was sex
California,
trafficking.
This is
A
Paris.
minus.
This is London. This is wherever Epstein was touching down. He needed to have girls on constant call. In every single state or every place that he goes to, he's already got people lined up and makers making that happen.
I don't think so either.
Part of the sick Epstein machine was Jean-Luc Brunel, a model agent based in Paris with access to beautiful young girls he was happy to deliver to Epstein.
Girls ranged in all different ages. I mean, there were girls as young as 12.
You have no doubt he was having sex with a 12-year-old.
I was told by him that he was having sex with 3
volume too
12-year-olds.
low? You can't hear
Sent
it.
by Jean-Luc Brunel. And Jeffrey laughed about it. He laughed. He thought it was funny.
It's not just a story of terrible sexual abuse, but also an extraordinary abuse of power, where the enormous wealth and influence of Jeffrey Epstein would prove to have the ultimate say, where justice was not just ignored, but deliberately denied by the very people who were meant to stop him.
Every single institution in our society that is supposed to protect the vulnerable failed these survivors.
David Boies is one of America's most prominent New York lawyers. He's representing 9 Epstein victims, including Virginia, in their fight to hunt down those who were a part of Epstein's
RICO is racketeering. Yeah, Diddy got racketeering charges.
sex trafficking ring, the scope and scale of which is mind-boggling. For all the wealth and the glamour and the beautiful mansion and the gorgeous island, I mean, this was tawdry. This was dark. This was very ugly.
It's a dark.
No, the question is the reason why I'm playing this is because the media is trying to convince people that Diddy and Epstein are on the same level. And Diddy didn't do none of Diddy's not even accused of doing none of these things that Epstein done. Epstein's whole case was involving minors. We don't know about no minors in Diddy case. Now people can say Usher, people can say Bieber, but none of these people came out and confirmed any of these reports. You know, it's all alleged, it's a possibility, but it's not, none of that is confirmed. All of this is confirmed. So why is the media telling people that Diddy is the same as Epstein? Why are they doing that? The reason I think they're doing that is to shame them. They trying to put a picture in your head that Diddy is this disgusting, evil person that preys on children. But none of that is in the indictment. None of that is being alleged. Then you got these fake phony lawsuits that hasn't been filed. Cassie wasn't no child. You got these fake phony lawsuits that hasn't been filed. One of them has already been proven false. Another one, the lawyer dropped the case. Now you got this guy with 120 lawsuits that said that people went to these Diddy parties and they woke up confused, injured, disheveled, scared. But that means absolutely nothing. Maybe he could have drugged them. That don't mean he fondled them or did anything sexual in nature to him. But you got Diddy facing life in prison for this. Life in prison. For freak-offs that we don't know if she loved him or not. He facing life in prison for this. Yo, that is wrong. Now, I know Diddy don't got the best history. Diddy done fucked over every artist that he had on his label. There's absolutely nobody rich because of Diddy. He got some messed up practices. I understand all of that. But what Diddy case is about has nothing to do with what Diddy is alleged of. Because if Diddy didn't cross these people on the business level, we wouldn't have heard of none of this stuff. None of it. But what happened was when Diddy got too comfortable, he started thinking that, you know, we all won. I'm in with you guys. We done made money all these years together. I'm good. I'm stamped. I'm solidified. I'm part of the team. And them people showed him, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. Diddy had a legitimate beef, what it sounds like, with this company. A legitimate beef. Austin. Yeah, Austin. That meant he did a Kid Cudi situation. Yeah, he had a legitimate, yo, Diddy built up this company for 15 years, or at least built up this brand for 15 years with hopes that one day he was going to get his own brand. So they give him his own brand. And then after he get his own brand, they don't market it. They don't put no money behind it. Meanwhile, they got other brands by other influencers, other celebrities. They pushing theirs, but why they not pushing his? So Diddy decides to play legal tactics with him, you know. And ever since then, you see all of this shit. You see all of this shit. Yeah, 50 got brands too. But Diddy was trying to become a distributor, you know. He was trying to take us a notch up. You know, he was trying, it's like I made y'all money for 15 years. Give me my own thing. Let me distribute. I own all my stuff. That's what he's telling him. I own my whole portfolio. I own everything. Now he's trying to get his own thing to build up wealth for his people, for his community, and they crushed him. That's what this is about. That's why I say, yo, justice delayed is justice denied. If this was about justice and Diddy did some of these things that they said he done, they should have been came down on him, but that's not what happened. They came down on him once Diddy got outside the, you know, he got outside the lines. Got outside the lines. And it just goes to show that as a black person in this country, yo, you can only go but so far up the ladder, yo. They're not going to ever allow you to get to a point where we are equal. But then you got the media, which this is where the jury pool is going to come from. The jury pool is going to come from people like you and me, lying, putting out fake allegations on Diddy, and I don't like it. I don't like
Island. I mean, this was tawdry. This was dark.
Man, hit that like button. If y'all want to donate to the channel, Cash App at the bottom. Baltimore swag, man. Support the movement.
You know, behind the facade of charm and sophistication, it's like turning over a rock and you just see the things crawling. It was
man, shout out to Arizona.
Within 9 months of meeting Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, Virginia was being flown halfway around the world to have sex with Epstein's wealthy associates. A little girl amongst a sea of men.
I was a baby stuck in a world where grown-ups were allowed to do whatever they wanted.
But to compare him to this
and
guy,
I was lost.
And were you trafficked?
That's irresponsible of the media, man.
I was trafficked that night.
It's irresponsible.
And so began Virginia's new life, still on call for Epstein, but also for any friend he chose.
I was trafficked to other billionaires. I was trafficked to politicians, professors, even royalty.
And this is another thing too, y'all. This is another misconception. Epstein, the trafficking that Epstein was doing, he was doing for profit. Diddy was doing for sexual gratification. You understand? It's a difference. Diddy was doing this for sexual gratification. Epstein was doing this for profit. He was selling juvenile girls. Diddy was a freak that brought porn to life. You know, he wanted porn in his living room. He wanted to pull the camera out. He wanted to be the director of the porn. And Cassie was the star in motherfucking role, and she was the star of the film. Is it right? No. Is it worth life in prison? Hell no. How is it one and the same? How is a person selling young girls the same as a person that's trying to fulfill his sexual desires? Come on, y'all. Come on. It's not the same. It's not the same. Nowhere near the same. Nowhere near the same. Diddy was paying money. He was making money. Diddy was paying for sex workers. They was making
people who run the world. It was the most powerful people in the world.
Why do you think Epstein did that to you?
Hey man, we gotta first get people to realize what's going on. People still confused.
So, you know, these people would owe him favors. So he wanted to always have something on someone just in case he needed it.
Trump or Harris?
Harris.
I really like Harris's cutting taxes. I read about Trump's plan for a national sales tax on groceries, clothes, even medication, and that it would cost families nearly $4,000 a year. I can't afford that.
Virginia has named the men she was trafficked to in documents lodged with the courts.
It's another thing, yo. Too. It's another thing that's being confused. Yo, Diddy parties and Diddy freak-offs is not the same. Like, that's another thing. And that's what I'm saying. The media is doing this intentionally. They're confusing people. You got Diddy parties where LeBron and all them is all there. Then you got Diddy freak-offs between him and Cassie and him and whoever else he decides to bring. It's not the same. It's not the same. But what the media is doing is confusing people by it's giving y'all two pictures in the brain, is bringing it together, and it's creating a fucking ugly portrait of what was really going on. And what was really going on is not that complex. It was a guy that was a freak, and he probably liked porn, and instead of watching porn, he brought porn to him. You know what I mean? Brought porn to him. And he did it with Cassie, who was supposed to be his girlfriend. Crazy. But it's a thing in this world called cuckolds. It's people that like seeing their significant other have sex in front of them. That's a real thing. It's a real thing. Only thing that made Diddy's different is different. Diddy was doing it on a larger scale, you know, and it was drug filled. You know, it was drug induced. Not saying he made them take drugs, but in order to be a part of the freak off, you might have to be high. Yeah, somebody definitely told him that. That's definitely learned behavior. He didn't just wake up in the morning. That's just outside of our nature to move like that. He didn't wake up in the morning and just decide to start doing freak offs. He probably was a part of a freak off or two.
Is Prince Andrew. The pair captured in this now infamous photograph. No,
Dragon King. That's where you're getting it wrong at. She wasn't being pimped across state lines. The sex workers was being flown in and out across state lines. And it was for payment. See, that's what I'm saying. People was getting it confused. He wasn't selling Cassie. No, Cassie was the girl. Cassie was his girl. He was bringing sex workers in, allegedly, to have sex with Cassie. Yeah, but that's never going to happen. Diddy wasn't spiking. Where's the proof that Diddy was spiking alcohol? Those claims are baseless. Yeah, because he probably did that. You know, I ain't saying Diddy didn't do that to Cassie, but Diddy shouldn't be facing life in prison for that. That's what I'm hung up on, y'all. This man is facing life in prison. He facing life in prison. Shouldn't be facing life in prison for that, man.
So as you know, Prince Andrew denies the allegations against him, and he says that this photo is a fake, that he was never there, and that he's not his arm, and they're not his fingers.
Those are
No,
his
he didn't
fingers.
have
That
no
is
little
Andrew.
kids, man.
This photo has been
There's no
verified
proof of that.
as an original, and it's been since given to the FBI, and they've never contested that it's a fake. And I know it's real. And he needs to stop with all of these lame excuses. We're sick of hearing it. This is a real photo.
And that was the first time you met him?
And that's the very first time I met him. And that's right before I was abused by him.
Jeffery
Diddy don't got no
Epstien
charges on his Dragon King.
took the 17-year-old Virginia to London to party with Prince Andrew.
Then we went to Club Tramp and
Yo, I don't trust them
danced
people.
with me, and he sweats a lot, and he smells funny.
She the rider for
and
the
then-
$5 super chat.
And then we get in the car, and Elin tells me in the car that I have to do what I do for Jeffery for Prince Andrew. And that's when I learned what was going to happen.
How many times were you trafficked to him?
3 times.
While Prince Andrew denies the allegations, Virginia maintains she's telling the truth. After the encounter in London, she says she had sex with him again at Epstein's New York,
The child.
where she was seen in his company by this witness, Joanna Schoberg, another victim. Schoberg claims Prince Andrew groped her breast that night. The final time Virginia was trafficked to Prince Andrew was here on
Just trying to
Epstein's
keep it
private
real, man.
island in
That's
the
all.
Caribbean. Was it just you and him at that time?
No, there were a lot of younger girls with us.
How many young women with you that day or night?
I believe there were 8.
Did you have any conversations with Prince Andrew during those encounters?
Not really. You're not even acknowledged as being alive or there or important or cared for or worried about in any way. None of those human emotions were attached to me when I was trafficked to Prince Andrew.
What about your emotions when you learned, after the first time that it was to happen a second time and then it was to happen a third time? What was your reaction to that?
Disgusted every time. Just absolutely disgusted. There wasn't one time that I was trafficked to any individual that I thought, oh, he's an okay guy. No, I was always disgusted that there were so many people involved in this highly organized sex trafficking operation.
Prince Andrew
Yes.
denies Virginia's allegations.
Prince Andrew says he was unaware of the sex trafficking, but he spent days in Epstein's New York mansion where the sex trafficking was rampant. Could not spend time there and not know what was going on.
Lawyer David Boys has written to Prince Andrew asking for his side of the story, with no response.
I got videos on it.
But whether it's voluntary or forced, David Boys is certain Prince Andrew will have to answer for his friendship with Epstein.
At some point, he's going to have to face the music. At some point, he's going to have to testify. He can't hide.
Are you sure about that?
I'm
He's a very powerful man from a very powerful family, and it doesn't seem like the UK authorities are at all interested in pursuing him.
No, and if he wants to stay,
UK authorities ain't even trying to lock him up.
You know, in the palace, and not travel outside the UK, maybe he can escape a reckoning. I mean, he can't travel to the United States without being prepared to testify.
Is that the case right now, that he can't come to the United States without...
Well, he can come to the United States, but if he comes to the United States, he can be served with a subpoena.
He could be, but
yes.
Would he be?
I think that's quite likely. I mean, at a minimum, he's a witness. I mean, even if people were not suing him directly, at a minimum, he's an important witness. So I think if he came to the United States now, it is quite likely that he would be served with process.
Coming up,
we were able to amass a whole wealth of evidence. We knew it.
Jeffrey Epstein exposed.
Is it true, sir, that you have what's been described as an egg-shaped penis?
But power and influence means...
Started with the secret plea deal that Jeffrey was offered.
There's no stopping.
The directive to shut it down came from the highest levels from D.C.
This moneybags monster.
People need to be held accountable. It's not okay to sexually abuse anybody.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
I'm just trying to show y'all, that the shit that Epstein did is way, like him and Diddy ain't even on the same level. Way close.
Jeffrey Epstein could have been stopped a decade and a half ago.
I was afraid that he was going to harm my family.
His murky massage ruse, enabled by inducement and intimidation, was uncovered when a 14-year-old victim finally told her parents about the abuse.
Yeah, but Epstein lied. Epstein lied. Epstein had, I was just watching something earlier. Epstein had one client. Epstein's whole career was built on lies. He got successful by lying, almost like running a Ponzi scheme. That's why they came down after him. That's the reason they even locked Epstein up.
For this alone, he could and should have been sent to jail for life. But no one counted on the reach of Epstein's influence.
We had no idea who this person was at the time, anything about him. We advised her that she needed to go to police and to tell her story to police.
These little kids, these young girls been telling on Epstein.
Was shocked by what police uncovered back in 2005 after raiding Epstein's home. It wasn't just one girl. In the end, they had testimony from 40 victims.
40.
Whose average age ranged from 13 to 16.
Jesus Christ.
We were able to amass a whole wealth of evidence. We knew it all.
Amongst them were damning message pads, clearly showing a trade in young girls, scheduling them for massage appointments.
He has a teacher for you, to teach you how to speak Russian. She is 2 times 8 years old, not blonde. Lessons are free, and you can have your first today if you call.
As well, flight logs showing girls being transported aboard Jeffrey's private plane, dubbed the Lolita Express. As compelling as the case was, Epstein
Diddy ain't do nothing like this,
using intimidation as his main weapon.
You had multiple people that were out there really digging up dirt on not only the victims, but also the lawyers, the police, everyone involved.
Have you ever come across something like that before?
Never.
Getting investigators to investigate the investigators?
Yeah.
Did it work? Did he scare people away?
Yeah, it definitely worked. Sadly. This is a man that's now dead, and they're still afraid to come forward.
But ultimately, there was too much evidence for authorities to ignore. They had to act.
Come on, Diddy ain't
but
wasting this
Epstein,
time. Cut
with
it
an
out.
army of lawyers, negotiated a slap on the wrist and a slap in the face for victims. Instead of admitting to child sex abuse, Epstein agreed to plead guilty to a lesser charge of soliciting a minor for prostitution, and in 2008 was sentenced to a mere 18 months in a Florida jail.
They basically turned victims into prostitutes. These were girls with absolutely no history and no past. To brand them that in a plea with him was just, for lack of a better term, disgusting.
He was a pedophile, accusing his victims of being prostitutes. He turned the tables completely.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. That's wild. So that's how he got on that 18-month sentence. And he ain't in jail. The 18 months was done on work release. The whole 18 months, he was doing the same thing he was doing to get locked up.
This is where Jeffrey Epstein served his sentence, but really, he only slept here. If Epstein had been your average sex offender, he would have automatically been denied work release. But instead, being Epstein, he was allowed out 6 and then 7 days a week, 12 hours a day.
That's crazy.
Driven by chauffeur to his downtown office, where it said he was attended to by 2 young victims he flew in from New York. Back here at the jail, the special treatment extended to being housed in his own private wing, protected by his own private bodyguards. So for Jeffrey Epstein, this prison sentence was pretty much business as usual.
Throughout this whole case, there's never been justice, and it started back in 2008 with the secret plea deal that Jeffrey was offered by the state of Florida.
Apart from his light prison sentence, no one knew what else Epstein had negotiated in his secret Florida deal. It turned out he'd wrangled full immunity against any other charges for himself and his co-conspirators. The final outrage, victims like Courtney Wild were never to be told of the deal. How do you feel about that?
To be sexually abused by a man and have the government know, and then actually, co-conspire with the perpetrator to make sure nothing happens to him is just so, it just sounds unreal.
It does, except it is real.
Mm-hmm, except it is real.
And it happened to you plus a whole heap of other women.
Right.
Why do you think the government did that?
Money, power, and I think that there was a lot of people involved in this, this underage minor sex ring that they were running, and I think everybody wanted it to go away.
So you believe that there was a conspiracy at play here?
Oh, absolutely.
What is your view of authorities signing up to that? That they're happy to protect a perpetrator at the cost of the victims. They won't even tell the victims what's going on.
It was astonishing at the time, but I know for a fact that the directive to shut it down came from the highest levels from DC.
Exactly, Robert. That's all I'm trying to show.
With
Not even
Epstein
close to what
out
Puffy
of
did.
jail and with no
This shit he
criminal
did was
avenue left
fucking
to them,
horrific.
victims could only sue for damages.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth,
In pursuing Epstein, attorney Spencer Cooven was intent on rattling the businessman.
Could you please give us your name? Jeffrey Epstein.
Who, until now, had been largely untouchable.
Is it true, sir, that you have what's been described as an egg-shaped penis?
Form, vague, indefinite, and I'm going to give you the first warning, Mr. Cooven.
It's a killer first question. What was your second question going to be?
Well, my strategy at the time was I wanted him to know that as a lawyer on behalf of the victims, I didn't care who he was.
It definitely
I didn't care
goes
how rich he
different.
was. I didn't care who he knew or how powerful he was.
Was that question based on evidence?
It was. My position was always, how would a 14-year-old girl know what his private parts look like? There is no valid explanation for something like that.
Sick bastard.
At the time of this humiliation for Epstein, Courtney Wild was demanding some answers too, which led to her uncovering the secret deal between prosecutors and Epstein. Ever since, she's been fighting to have the deal overturned.
Basically, it took 11 years litigating back and forth with the government for them to, finally declare that, yes, my rights were violated and the government was wrong.
Earlier this year, Courtney won her case. Keeping the plea deal from the victims was declared illegal. But the rest of it, where Epstein's co-conspirators are protected in Florida by immunity, stands. Something Courtney is now appealing.
Justice needs to be served. People need to be held accountable. It's not okay to sexually abuse anybody. And so for the past 11 years, I've just been fighting to get that message across, that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you have money or not. You don't deserve to be treated that way.
Do you feel like you're being heard?
Yeah.
So why are you crying?
I know. I do finally feel like I'm being heard, and it's a good cry, you know? And I take pride in that, because it's intimidating to go against somebody of such power and wealth. But yeah, I do feel like my voice is being heard.
Coming up,
People who should have known, just let him continue.
freed from prison
Like, there was no way he was just going to stop. He wasn't just going to go home and not do that.
and reunited with friends in high places.
They both think that they can get away with everything.
But the women who suffered
I expected it from a man, but I didn't expect it from a woman.
refused to surrender.
We need to find Dylan. She has no shame. She has no heart.
She can't hide out forever.
That's next on
Yeah, so
60
she was on a run.
By 2009, Jeffrey Epstein had served his sentence in Florida, an extraordinarily lax and lenient 13 months, when he could have faced 45 years for his crime.
The man did 13 months, y'all. 13 months. He did 13 months, and he was facing 45 years. Was able to plead guilty to solicitation of a prostitute, and these was juvenile children with no history of prostitution. That deal shouldn't have been on the table. I wonder if any judges got in trouble for that. Any prosecutors got in trouble for that. I'm from Baltimore. Ain't nobody get in trouble for that, man. Ain't nobody get in trouble for that. That's crazy. But this is who they comparing Diddy to.
With his luxury properties and private planes, he travelled when and where he wanted. And old friend Prince Andrew reconnected with him, despite his ex-offender status.
What do you think when you see that photo? I mean, they're just two of a like mind. You know, they both love having sex with young women. They both think that they can get away with everything, that they're above society, and you know, for a long time, Jeffrey was. He proved it, didn't he?
Virginia Roberts Giuffre says she was a victim of both men. Her lawyer, David Boys, says she was also a victim of a system prepared to let Epstein get away with it. The secret sweetheart deal in Florida, proof that these young women counted for nothing.
And that's one of the most disturbing and really shameful things. That people who should have known better, didn't know better, turned a blind eye and just let him continue.
But Epstein didn't count on the anger of his victims. When they found out about the secret deal, they took further legal action, which in turn led to the federal authorities reopening the case. What Florida didn't have the stomach to do, New York certainly did. And so on July 6th of this year, Jeffrey Epstein was again arrested and charged. But this time he faced the prospect of life behind bars.
I never thought it was going to happen. I honestly thought he was just going to continue to get away with it over and over and over again, just like he proved so many times. So yeah, it was like Christmas in July.
Yeah, you definitely can say that.
66-year-old billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein was in court today for allegedly engaging in sex trafficking crimes.
How serious are these charges against Epstein, David?
Armed with fresh allegations from new victims, authorities charged Epstein with child sex trafficking and conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking. Raids on his homes in New York and his Caribbean island uncovered hundreds of sexually explicit CDs and photographs, many of underage girls.
Oh, you must see what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what the media is doing.
Pleaded not guilty and applied for bail, which was denied after the court heard from two victims, including Courtney Wild.
the fact that I had an influence on it, him remaining behind bars was just like so powerful for me, because if anybody knows that man the way I do, there was no way he was just going to stop. He wasn't just going to go home and not do that.
He lived the high life but died in disgrace.
Just a month later, for the final time, Epstein proved he would not be held accountable.
This is the same prosecution that with the same
found dead by suicide in his jail cell.
Southern District of New York was prosecuting Diddy
such
too.
A place is a mystery. His shock death raising suspicions. He was a man who knew too much.
It's incomprehensible to me how the American prison system could, with probably its highest profile prisoner, take him off suicide watch, remove his cellmate, not have the guards look in on him. Somehow the cameras are turned off. That's just incomprehensible.
Yeah, that's crazy.
On the other hand, it's inconceivable to me that somebody could have penetrated the prison and actually killed him.
Do you believe that if he had lived, the justice system would have been able to hold him?
Yes, no, absolutely. And the reason I think that suicide is plausible is that I think he knew.
Oh, what are you talking about, Owen? I'm talking about the mainstream media. Whenever they talk about Diddy, they keep referencing Epstein. I'm showing the people that the media is fucking lying. Ain't got shit on Epstein. Nothing. Zero. Not even in the same ballpark. But they painting Diddy out to be a Epstein to create an image in people's head to taint the jury pool. I just said the media. The fuck is you talking? I just said the media. The media, but Diddy ain't Epstein. Diddy ain't Epstein. Not by any stretch of the imagination. And that's very irresponsible of the media to do that. Very irresponsible.
The jig was up. He was going to jail, and he was going to jail for a very long time.
Today is a day of power and strength.
Epstein's death did not silence his victims, who were invited to share their pain in open court, even though with his death, the criminal case against him had to be dropped.
I won't stop fighting. I will never be silenced until these people are brought to justice.
Their focus now is on prosecuting Epstein's alleged co-conspirators. Ghislaine Maxwell considered the most prominent and cruel.
I don't mean to sound sexist in any way, shape, or form, but I expected it from a man, but I didn't expect it from a woman. And, yeah, I think that's what hurts the most.
I'm fighting against price gouging to lower costs, protect jobs.
Because a lot of people, see, that's the thing, the media is able to do that because a lot of people probably don't remember Epstein case. A lot of people probably don't remember what Weinstein was accused of and what he got found guilty on. That's why I'm going back to show people like, yo, we've been lied to. We've been lied to, man. Why are they trying to paint this man out? Why don't you just stick to the facts? Why are you trying to paint this man out to be something that maybe he is, maybe he ain't? But you gotta also remember, y'all, that these same people that's watching these videos, watching these YouTube channels, are also going to be on that jury. They also going to be deciding if he's guilty or not guilty. So they killing him in public opinion. They referencing all these lawsuits that haven't even been filed, and it's damaging the perception of what Diddy is. You know, I ain't saying he a perfect person. Shit, he did some fucked up things. We done seen the video of Cass. But life in prison, y'all, for freak offs, where he wasn't profiting off of it, he was spending money. Man, that's insane. Yeah, they ghost victims. Them lawsuits might not ever be filed. That's why I said earlier in the live, what if y'all find out of them 120 lawsuits that they announced the other day, they only filed one? Like, yo, I think the people should be highly upset about that. Y'all announced 120 lawsuits and y'all only filed one or two or say 5. That's still a far cry from 120. What young lady was 16? Yo, what are you talking about? You making stuff up, yo. See, that's what I'm saying. It's media manipulation. What young girl was 16? There's no proof no young girl was 16. A lot of people go through it. A lot of people go through it. And it's crazy. The people still haven't picked up on it. And the people still believe everything that's being said. The people, no, I think you got soup for brains if you don't understand what I'm talking about. The people still believe everything that's being said. The people still believe that this is a takedown. They're cleaning up Hollywood and all these people are going to jail and these tapes are going to be released and we're going to see. And none of that is true. It's not no federal court docs. What are you talking about? Ain't no 16-year-old. Diddy is indicted allegedly for Cassie. Diddy is indicted for Cassie. That's it. That's all. Yeah, but he not on trial for that. No, it's not no 120 people up to testify. What are you talking about? See, that's what I'm saying. You see what I mean? That's why I'm on this, Owen. And you just keep you just keep regurgitating information that's false. And you wonder why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this, to get people the truth out. To get the truth out. Ain't no 120 fucking people. What are you talking about? Yeah, but that guy's fugazi. We just listened to him. We just heard what he said. People woke up confused, injured. Like, what the fuck does that mean? What does confused? What does I wake up confused sometimes and injured? And I ain't drank the night before. The fuck, I might wake up confused and my fucking shoulder hurt. God damn, fuck, my shoulder hurt so bad for, and be confused as to what the fuck, I hit my shoulder yesterday. Like, yo, like, that's not a crime. Like, they tricking people with wordplay. Yo, what Diddy was trying to do was major. If Diddy could have pulled off what he was trying to pull off, that would have been major for the advancement of the community. It would have been. And even if Diddy hasn't done anything for the community per se, the fact that we're continuously being shown that in this country, it's the illusion of inclusion. In this country, they present it like you can go far as you want, but in reality, it's still limitations. It's still limitations. And Diddy's situation is a prime example of it still being limitations. No matter how rich and powerful you is, you can reach billionaire status, but they won't let you get to the motherfucking 50 billion. Not unless you play by their rules completely. Like, if you dare step outside these motherfucking lines, we're gonna crush you. And that's what's going on. Diddy stepped outside the lines and they crushed him. But I'm not going to participate in it. And I don't think we should participate in it. But what's happening is you got all these YouTube pages participating in the crushing of Diddy. So what's going to be the next? Who's going to be next? We didn't see him do it to Cosby. We didn't watch him do it to Diddy. Like, when is we going to be like, man, fuck that. Yo, you ain't ready to keep doing this shit, man. Making up these wild ass allegations and killing people in public opinion when in reality you ain't even got that. Why y'all think they They let Cosby go. They let Cosby go because they got fucking Cosby lawyer knew of a deal and didn't tell his client. How does that happen? How does somebody with the money of Bill Cosby hire high-powered attorneys and they don't tell their client about a deal? Y'all think that was by mistake? Do y'all think that was by mistake? Come on, man. I just wanted to show y'all the difference, man. That's what this whole live was about. Showing y'all the difference between the two.
He's a monster. He's literally a monster.
The billionaire rapper. Now facing some serious music.
This man is gonna go down.
Coming up on 60 Minutes.
I saw the aftermath, the bruises, the busted lip, knots on the head.
Sean Diddy Combs accused
Sex party freak-offs. They allege that Diddy filmed it.
of shocking crimes against multiple women.
It's probably not the half of it.
And the evidence is damning. You expect to see Diddy in handcuffs?
I do. Each one of those charges carries with it a 25-year sentence.
Listen to how.
Next.
Now we know the lawsuit is only one person. I mean, the indictment is only one person. But listen to the coverage. Just listen to the coverage.
He's been known by many names over the years, from Puff Daddy to P.Diddy, even Love. But now, hip-hop megastar Sean Combs has to face the music of being called an accused rapist and sex trafficker. Much like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstien,
Look,
he's at the center of his very own Me Too.
you see what I'm talking about? Do y'all see what I'm talking about? You see what they just did? It's not much like anything. It's totally different. That's why we did this live. I didn't even expect them to do that on this video, but this is the narrative that mainstream media is pushing. Yeah, but they're doing it. They're doing it all. It's not just UK. This is the narrative that mainstream media is pushing. There's still 60 Minutes, still mainstream somewhere. Much like Epstein, his situation totally different from theirs. Totally different.
To reckoning. Alleged victims say for 3 decades the rapper's out-of-control debauchery meant they endured terrifying abuse. With graphic video now backing up their claims, many of them hope Sean Combs will soon be trading his obscene lifestyle for a jail cell. Sean Combs' celebrity parties were legendary lavish affairs. Glamorous spectacles for the elite, which, for this billionaire music mogul, had also served as window dressing to his allegedly dark, sinister world, until
exactly now yourself.
This is incredibly disturbing footage, so I do.
Last month, this 2016 video leaked to CNN, showing Combs viciously assaulting his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a Los Angeles hotel. It's become the smoking gun for a litany of filed by Cassie and 7 other accusers, alleging years of control, abuse, rape, and sex trafficking.
Diddy hosted what he called freak-offs, sex parties so brutal that the young men and women would sometimes vomit and pass out from being drugged.
Alrighty, Dragon King. Appreciate it. You should check out some of my uploads, man. I got uploads talking about Jaguar.
Its depravity completely at odds with his glossy public persona. But some who witnessed the real Sean Combs claim it's long been an open secret.
I've kept this very quiet for 14 years. I mean, it's been a very long time. And once I saw the video, I just felt like I need to say something.
It don't make
Ventura's
sense.
friend and makeup artist,
That's how I know it ain't about that.
says she saw Combs commit horrendous abuse, but was too scared to act. Seeing the security footage brought it all back and breaks her heart.
it was hard for me to watch. Like, it was so hard for me to watch. And I like cried for days because I just couldn't believe that that man was physically abusing her like that. That like really upset me. Like, I could, like, and I just thought about
freak offs got slippery, man.
Like, he's a monster. He's literally a monster.
Sean Combs has gone by many monikers: Puff Daddy, Diddy, and Love. Not just as a rapper, but a hit-making record label boss who made or broke careers as the go-to man in hip-hop. Rumours of Diddy's bad behaviour have followed him throughout his career. How much was ignored?
I am certain that the amount of stuff that we've heard about is probably not the half of it. I imagine that there are many, many people who will take whatever it is that they know
he reading off a
wherever
script.
they go, because
He reading off a script. Why he keep turning his head? Look, y'all. He reading off a script. Look at his eyes. This man's reading off a script. Look at the shit I'm talking about. Why is he reading off a script, y'all? Why is his eyes looking that way? Again. He keep cutting his eyes back over. Watch.
Throughout his career, how much was ignored?
I am certain that the amount of stuff that we've heard about is probably not the half of it. I imagine that there are many, many people who will take whatever it is that they know with them wherever they go.
What the fuck is going on, y'all? What's up with y'all, man? Why you reading off a skip? No, he reading off a skip, man. You can tell by how he talking. He talking like he reading.
Because they believe that was the...
Look, he looking over there. I ain't wondering. He's looking over there, man.
Price of participation.
Look. I ain't wondering. He ain't got no wondering eyes.
He's a professor of hip-hop at the University of Virginia. He says the seeds of Combs' bad behaviour can be traced back to the start of his career.
I believe that Diddy has been a person who, since the very beginnings, he was always a person who was incredibly invested in his own image and curating that image in such a way that he came across to people as being the kind of person that everybody loved and everybody loved to be around. And whenever he wanted to evoke a certain kind of fear, then he was able to do that as well.
I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
And we also know that the nickname Puffy comes from this temperament that he has, that he's a kind of guy who is easily angered, and when he gets angered, then he huffs and he puffs, and so people start to call him Puffy.
When Puffy met Cassie, he was the 37-year-old powerful producer boss, and she was the aspiring, starry-eyed singer at just 19. Their relationship would eventually become intimate.
What's up, y'all? It's your friendly neighborhood international rap mogul superstar, designer extraordinaire, actor, marathon runner, father, friend. You know, I do it all, baby.
In this rarely seen video,
about me. It's my homegirl Cassie right here.
The power imbalance between the two is eerily obvious.
She's a human being. That's what we all love about her. The people that love her. The people that hate on her, they're just gonna hate her anyway. You know what I'm saying? We sure will love her one day. This bad boy, we ain't never gonna stop.
Mila Morales knew Cassie at the peak of her innocence and the start of a promising career.
Cassie, when I first met her, she was the sweetest girl. I always looked at her as like my little sister, and she was young. She was like always so sweet and such a beautiful spirit.
But Mila says there was one incident in 2010 that particularly haunts her.
We were just coming from a photo shoot, and we were in the hotel room. I fall asleep on the couch because, you know, we were just out all day.
like wake up to him storming in the room and screaming, "Where is she?" They shut the door and everything just started happening. And
this is an abusive relationship between the both of them.
The bruises, the busted lip, the knots on the head, and it was really bad. Like, I don't know how any man could hurt another human being that way.
Mona says she called a doctor friend to patch the singer up. She and Cassie were too afraid to take her to hospital, let alone go to the police. You felt like you couldn't?
No, we couldn't. You think we could have done that back then? No. Absolutely not. That would not be safe for any of us.
It's terrifying to think, Marla, that you didn't feel safe actually going to an emergency room when your friend was really badly injured.
Yeah, I mean, we're not dealing with, like, a normal person, and the person that actually did the abuse is somebody who's, like, powerful.
Got my phone not charging, man.
And that's not something we can take lightly.
What is it about Diddy's circle that makes them so loyal? So many people, as you say, would have ignored what was going on.
I mean, to be honest with you, these are their jobs, and it's not about being loyal. It's more so like, this is your job. And I mean, it goes back to centuries when they're like people in positions of power. What are the servants going to do?
Why'd you move to LA? Oh, for the kids,
I don't know. My
family,
shit normally charge up.
weather.
Being one of Combs' servants was even sought after. In 2008, at the height of his power, contestants competed on a television. Diddy's assistant.
Robert J. What it is?
Susie Siegel had no experience in the entertainment industry when she signed up. Why did you want to work for Diddy?
I thought it would be something that would actually help me.
All right, y'all. We right in it right there because I got live back again at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. We at 9:30. Give me some time to do some things. Yo, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. I just wanted to show y'all the difference because I don't like how the media is spinning the narrative. They're not telling the truth. You got bloggers lying for views, and we just trying to keep that shit 100, man. We just trying to keep it 100, man. Diddy ain't going right. Diddy trying to prove his innocence. That's what his lawyer said. I mean, who are we to disagree with the lawyer? He didn't want to talk to him every day. The lawyer said Diddy is trying to prove his innocence. He don't like how he's being portrayed in the media. Appreciate it, Fred. But 11 o'clock Eastern time, which is an hour and a half away from now, we will be live again. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Check out my latest upload. If you want to support the platform, you can cash that Baltimore swag. BALTIMORESWAG. And shit, we out.